Hey everybody, how you doing? This is my new radio voice. I'm doing the late night shift. I'm as I stick with you as you ride down the road to your destination. We're gonna keep you tucked in here on the JRE. What number is this? What episode is this?
Oh,
What is it?
547.
Number 547. Joe DeRosa is here, ladies and gentlemen. This episode is brought to you by Stamps.com. That's my real voice. Stamps.com is a way that you can run a business, send shit from your home or from your office, just using your home computer. You don't have to go to the post office, get things weighed out anymore. You can print official U.S. postage directly from your home computer. It is a marvel of convenience, ladies and gentlemen, and is what Brian Redband uses to ship everything out. If you order a t-shirt or a hat or any of his cool new things, if you go to shopsquad.tv, has a bunch of new shit in. All of that stuff is handled by Stamps.com. Our friends Bert Kreischer, he sends his shit through Stamps.com. Tom Segura and Christina Przitsky, they send their merchandise through Stamps.com. Stamps.com is an awesome way to get 24-hour access to the post office right from your computer. No waiting in line, no hassles. Print it up on your home computer, right there on your printer, and then boom, give that shit to the mailman and you're done, kid. Stamps.com makes mailing and shipping very easy with any computer, any printer. Very simple to do. Hand it to your mail carrier and you're diggity done. Stamps.com will send you a digital scale automatically that automatically calculates the exact postage you need for any class of mail. You'll never need to go to the post office again. Go right now to Stamps.com and use the promo code JRE for this special offer. It's a no-risk trial, $110 bonus offer, which includes a digital scale and up to $55 of free postage. So do not wait. Go to Stamps.com, and before you do anything else, go and click on that microphone in the upper right-hand corner. Who's doing that thing with their mouth? Is that you, Joe DeRosa? You doing some weird mouth shit?
Was I doing that?
You're doing some weird shit, man.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
Okay. No worries.
Sorry.
Stamps.com. Use the code word JRE, and again, get your $110 bonus offer. Can't recommend Stamps.com enough. Literally, you've never heard one bad thing about them. They're fucking fantastic. Use the code word JRE and save yourself some money. We're also brought to you by Blue Apron. Blue Apron is a fantastic new product, or service, I should say, that sends you all the ingredients and the recipes with photographs, detailed photographs, step-by-step instructions for you to create your own meals. Excellent, healthy, 500 to 700 calories per serving, but if you eat it, you would think it'd be a lot more than that because they're really good stuff. They have a whole bunch of really groovy recipes for all sorts of different things, and they send you new stuff every week. Like this week, I've got chicken breast gumbo with chicken sausage and okra, pan-seared scallops with sautéed sun golds. I don't even know what a sun gold is, but it sounds awesome. I don't know what this is either. Purslane, Purslane, purslane over farro. Farro's a type of pasta, right? Beef patty melt, Mexican-style turkey burger, cod with pickled grapes and summer succotash. This is awesome stuff and easy to do. I cook a lot, but I don't really follow recipes. I mostly cook meat like a fucking caveman. But I've been using Blue Apron, and even making like complex things is not difficult. I made these awesome ground beef stuffed peppers. They were fantastic. It was really good, and it's fun. It's exciting to do. It excites me. Haha. That's right. I said Blue Apron excites me. And here's how it works. For $9.99 a meal, they'll send you the right ingredients in the exact right proportions with simple recipe instructions right to your door. Blue Apron includes step-by-step instructions with pictures, so it's idiot-proof. It's super easy to do. They work around your schedule and your dietary preferences. Cooking takes about a half an hour, and shipping is always free. They never send you the same meal twice. Short rib burgers on pretzel buns, kung pao chicken tacos. Yummy shit, folks. You'll cook incredible meals and be blown away by the quality and the freshness. I have zero complaints. They've been excellent so far. BlueApron.com/Rogan. Go there and get your first 2 meals for free. That's BlueApron.com/Rogan. And then last but not least, what do we have last but not least? Dollar Shave Club? Oh, that's right, sweet bitches. Dollar Shave Club is back. If you are a member of Dollar Shave Club, you know what the fuck is up. You got to remember to buy razors, folks. That shit's annoying. The last thing you want to do is be going through your, the cabinet where you keep all your pills.
Your medicine cabinet.
Looking for a razor that doesn't exist. You're like, you motherfucker, I forgot to buy razors. and especially if you have one of those dickhead bosses. Brian Redband, what's with all the stubble? You present an unprofessional appearance.
And you have to use your girl's razor with all her hair in it and her cold water.
You don't want to go to the store for anything more. The more shit you can get delivered to you, the better your life will be. Trust me. I'm a fucking firm believer in getting shit done online. You got to find that locked plastic fortress when you go to the fucking pharmacy where they keep all the
why do they lock this?
They don't want you cutting your throat right there in front of them. I can't take fucking buying razors anymore. There's only one guy with the key. He's always taking a shit. You gotta find him. With DollarShaveClub.com, DollarShaveClub.com, you can, for a few bucks a month, cut all that shit out of your life. It's a much smarter way than going to the store. Their plans start at just $3 a month. Signing up takes just 2 minutes. Then sit back and blades arrive like clockwork. The razors are better than the big shave companies for a fraction of the price. You can shave with a fresh blade every week. No membership fees, no commitments, and they have a money-back guarantee. You have nothing to lose by trying them out. So stop fucking around and go to dollarshaveclub.com/Rogan. That's dollarshaveclub.com/Rogan. And last but not least, we're brought to you by Onnit.com. It's ONNIT. We have new cups that came in, the Conquer cups. They're inspirational cups. This one is the Miyamoto Musashi cup. And it said, today is a victory over yourself of yesterday. Tomorrow is your victory over lesser foes. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Badass samurai quotes. That's what I'm talking about, bitch. All right, Joe DeRosa's here. Why fuck around? Onnit.com. ONNIT. That's it. Use the code word Rogan. Save money. Hi. Save 10% off any and all supplements with the code word Rogan as Brian tries to start the music.
Joe Rogan, check it out.
Start the music. Do. Start the music. Do you know how to do it?
Yeah, it's not working for some reason. So
maybe because you weren't ready?
No, it was. Here we go.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Like that chick. I miss her.
Whoa.
Wow, that's the worst one ever. Congratulations. I didn't think you could fuck it up any more than that. I mean, it started off bad, the middle was bad, there was fucking two of them playing at the same time, and it ended abruptly. Everything was wrong. Congratulations. If you did that in a movie, if you planned out the worst intro music for a podcast in a movie, you fucking...
It sounded like you just took a random part out of like a Primus. It sounded like a snippet from a Primus song where it would have made sense in the whole picture, but just the clip, you were like, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, well, it's a kind of funny story that wound up getting resolved, but Jamie called me the other day to tell me that one of my videos got taken down from the internet because someone used my words, like my voice, in a song and then copywrote it.
Really?
So, yeah, they copywrote my voice. So when my voice, the original version of that, was online, they put a copyright hit against me for my own voice.
Christ. That is unbelievable.
It was so hilarious. I mean, it got resolved, like, when I started tweeting about it. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, this, I don't know the details. I don't know what the dude was thinking, how he thought he could copyright my own voice in his song. It's not, I don't know. I didn't even listen to the song. I heard the beginning of it where it sounds, there's a video that this guy did called American, what is it called? The American War Machine? American War Machine. Paradigm Shift on YouTube. Really cool guy. Met him in Vancouver. Very nice guy. Very talented guy too. Did this video. It's really cool. It's combining a bunch of rants with all this video of war stuff and stuff about U.S. history and how crazy the military-industrial complex is. And the beginning of it is this rant that this guy took and put on his song. But then he copywrote it. Like, he didn't even change the fucking music that my friend Tosh had put on the thing. He didn't even change it. He just took that chunk, put it in his song, and then said, this is mine.
It's like the shittiest version of buying a domain name to resell it. I own your domain name.
Like Pepsi Spice.
Oh.
Brian owned PepsiSpice.com. Do you remember when Pepsi Spice came out? It was one of his best pranks ever.
I swear to God, I thought it was one of the Spice Girls when you said that. I didn't... No. What the fuck is Pepsi Spice?
Pepsi Spice was this horrendous idea. It's like someone decided to, like, let's make Pepsi, but spicy. like a spicy Pepsi. So
It was a Thanksgiving Pepsi. It was for Thanksgiving.
So like,
is
yeah.
that still up? Is it up anywhere? Can you see all that stuff that you did?
There's pieces of it. There's
God
pieces
damn,
of it,
dude, you
yeah.
got to put that up in a blog.
I know.
You should put it up in a blog, and
I think we shot it with with a gun.
Oh, did we when we blew up the hard drives?
So you.
So this is what he did.
Right.
I'll tell you the whole story.
Okay.
He took PepsiSpice.com. He bought the domain name because this is in like, what was it, like 2000?
It was a long time, 10 years ago or something like that.
It might have
7
been
years ago?
earlier.
Yes.
It might have been before Fear Factor. I don't think you were working for me, man.
No, I was. It was right when I moved here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what he did. He bought PepsiSpice.com before they did, and then he
Okay.
started putting up a daily blog about how he's eating nothing but Pepsi Spice, and his health was rapidly deteriorating in like these hysterical, cataclysmic ways. It was so funny, man. We were going to it every day, and the Pepsi Spice people were fucking shitting their pants. Like, what is this? And it was before anyone understood the internet. No high-level executives in Pepsi or any of those major corporations, or very few of them, understood the internet.
Right.
If they did, they would have bought PepsiSpice.com way before they released
Sure.
it.
Yeah.
But they didn't. So
That's
he
great.
puts this fucking blog up about him shitting blood and he's down to 120 pounds now.
It's open veins all over me.
Yes. What were the things that you said? Do you remember?
I remember I had open sores everywhere, and I was really good at Photoshop back then, so no one even knew that there was fake Photoshops as much, So I had like pictures of me with these big bloody things. I was hanging out with Lindsay Lohan snorting mushrooms, like it was called Mocaine, where we would like crush up mushrooms and snort.
I love it.
That
So
was so ridiculous.
would you write the blog like if you were like the way a Stranded Island diary would read, like day 36?
I did. It was because it was after that movie Super Size Me, so I pretty much just made it like this. Like the seventh day, I'm starting to cough up a lot of stomach acid and stuff like that, and then it just got worse and worse, and I think I ended up dying at the end. I never finished it because.
Did they ever buy the domain from you?
No, I owned it for a while, but then after a while, you have a domain that no one even knows what Pepsi Spice is anymore. But yeah, like here's
So
one
they never purchased it from you or told you to take it down? or
no,
anything?
because they stopped selling Pepsi Spice, so it didn't mean anything. Here's some of it that's
So
been
last
saved.
night, Lindsay Lohan. I can't read it. It's all
Yeah,
it's all blurry on that.
It's about doing Mocaine, and then I just finished my
Shibboleth.
last 2 liter.
This guy just skipped Mocaine for health reasons. It was really funny, man.
That's really great.
It was really funny, man. It was.
Oh, I got clogged armpits.
Oh,
that was
that's
one
right.
of the things. I couldn't sweat.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. I
And it
love
was
it.
believable. Like nothing was too over the top at first. It seemed so normal, and then as his journal got deeper and deeper, it got more and more fucked up.
I love it.
It was really ridiculous.
That's incredible. And it was a spicy. It was a holiday spicy, not like a buffalo wings.
Yeah, right.
Spicy, right?
it was like a cinnamony kind of a
It
thing.
was like you had too much ginger or
Oh,
something.
it was nasty.
I hate spiced anything. I think spiced rum is disgusting. Like if I'm drinking with somebody and they're like, "I'll take a Captain and Coke," I'm just like, "Get out of my face! You're a fucking idiot."
Well, what's that thing that you gave me the other day at the Ice House? That super spicy liquor shot that we did. What the hell was that?
Oh, Fireball.
Fireball.
yeah.
Disgusting.
I kind of liked it.
It's great, and it's great because you take one before you hit the road, and it's like you helps your breath and everything.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Just
I
keep
don't
some in the
think
glove
so.
compartment for when you get pulled over. I mean,
Hold on a second, officer. Yeah, people think that like that stuff makes your breath taste good, but basically anything that's alcohol makes your breath taste like shit. Because once it goes in your stomach is like, "What is this?" And that's when the disgusting breath comes up.
I don't like any of those. Like, here's the weird part. I love Jägermeister. Jägermeister's my
Really?
favorite shot on the planet Earth.
What
Jaeger
the
bombs, like the white trash that I truly am.
Really?
Jaeger bombs are my favorite shot on
What
the
do-
planet.
What do we have here right now, Jamie?
Please don't say.
Let's do some shots.
Oh my god.
I'm off the booze.
Are you totally 100%?
Not forever. I have fatty liver right now, so I had to stop drinking.
All right, we won't do shots.
God damn it! You guys can do one
What's
though.
fatty
All right,
liver?
Brian and I will do one shot.
Oh, what? No.
Yeah, do one.
And you want to do one, Jamie? All right, Jamie will do
I'm
a
gonna
shot.
really regret not doing this with you,
No,
like
you
in a
won't
week when I
regret
fall off
it.
the wagon.
Oh,
I was like,
you'll
I
be
should have
fine.
drank with the guys last.
What's fatty liver?
It means you have fat in your liver.
How'd that happen?
Probably from drinking and eating poorly for all these years. I mean, this was my. I'm in the and I'm not in great shape. This is the best shape I've ever been in right now. Like what you see.
Are you? Why is that funny? Why are you laughing at the man? The fuck is making progress, and Brian's like, you got
it's hilarious.
Yeah, this is the best shape I've ever been in, which isn't saying much. But I mean, for years, dude, like my lifestyle was get completely shit-faced 4 or 5 nights a week, go home, and I would do this night after night, get like a double meat cheesesteak, Doritos, chocolate cake, and a soda, and literally lay in my bed wasted eating it and just pass out. Wow. I would do that night after night after night. I smoked. You know, it was just, I think after a while, you know, I dabbled in the drugs here and there, you know. I think after a while, just kind of little bit, it catches up, man.
I'll try some Jameson since it's got a bunch of signatures on it. Who signed on that thing?
Courtesy of Bert.
Oh, it's Kreischer brought it over. Yeah.
There you go.
He writes on the bottle so you know it's getting you hammered. New York is kind of like that, though, right? New York is a place where a lot of people, Ari and I were talking about this last night, people go out after the shows and they drink.
It's fucking greatest. I miss it, dude. It was such an adventure, man. It was such an adventure. I remember having nights in New York where literally at like, you'd do a set, it'd be a Tuesday, and you'd do a set, you'd finish, it'd be like 9:30. You'd be like, it's Tuesday, there's nothing going on. This is done. I'm going to go home. And then somebody would be like, hey, you know, though, I heard so-and-so might be having a little do you want to just go over real quick and just check out what's happening, you know, across the way at the such and such bar? And you'd go over, and the next thing you know, dude, it's 5 a.m., and there's been, you know, blow and whiskey, and you're wasted, and you're fucking a girl, and it's the greatest, man.
Fuck, that sounds good.
It's the greatest. You're
I've
like,
never
where
even
did
done
this
blow, and I want to do it now.
You're just like, where did this night come from? It just, that never happens in LA.
Oh, yes, it does. You need to hang around the Comedy Store. Are you fucking crazy?
When does a wild night happen out here? You gotta drive goddamn home every night. You can't.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a different animal.
And the bars close at 2.
Yeah.
You know, it's
definitely a different animal. But, like, I mean, that was like the whole deal about the store was Coke, right? I mean, those the Kinnison days. I talked to Marin again last night because Marin was at Ari's TV show taping. Ari's got a new TV show on Comedy Central called This Is Not Happening.
Yeah, I know.
And Marin did a story last night, and him and I talked again about the Kinnison days, about doing blow with Kinnison to the point where he heard voices in his head for a year.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. What the fuck?
He was scary. A young kid. He was a young kid hanging out at the store, and he was partying with Kinnison and working at the store, you know?
And dude, that's the difference between, and I'm not trying to shit on LA, but that's the difference between LA drugs and New York drugs. New York drugs are like Wolf of Wall Street. Hey, it's a fucking party. We're at the beach. We're going to the Hamptons. We're at a bar. Go home, pass out, get up, hit your job tomorrow. LA drugs are, it's like, feels like River Phoenix. You know, there's a darkness. There's a darkness to it. It's something, there's something like out here that feels much more like stripper, fucking CeCe DeVille, you know.
CeCe DeVille. He pulls out a Poison reference.
Do you know what I mean, though?
Yeah.
It's just something, it's, I don't know. And I'm not doing a New York versus LA thing, but like.
It's different for sure.
New York didn't feel like that. New York just felt way more just like, hey, it's in the neighborhood.
Right.
Hey, fuck it, you know.
I never lived in the city, so I didn't get that thing out of New York, because when I first moved to New York, I needed a car because I was doing road gigs, and the only way I could make a living was to do the road. Like, I couldn't do the whole 15 shows in a night, like do a 7-minute spot here, and then add up the $10 whatever the fuck you would get from each set. Because a lot, like Attell used to do that. He would do 10, 15 sets a night. All these little 7-minute sets.
Yeah.
And run all over the place and do it and just take cabs and stuff, and that was life.
Yeah.
But I was getting these road gigs, and that was the only way I was paying my money, paying my bills. So I lived in New Rochelle. So for me, I didn't do that whole live in the city, take cabs, or take the subway everywhere.
Oh,
so
shit.
I could totally get that, though.
Oh, dude, it was just, New York, like when you live, because I lived all over New York for 9 years. I started in Queens, then I was up in Harlem.
You were in Harlem?
Yeah.
Did you fuck any black chicks?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Not because of Harlem, just because.
Talk to Daddy.
What do you want to know? I've banged them all shapes and sizes.
Powerful Joe DeRosa. Look at that. The kid's getting around. What's your favorite spot to live?
I had a great time in every place I lived. My least favorite was Queens, not because of Queens, but I had a fun time in Queens. I lived with Jay Okerson out there, and it was fun. But we lived in like a very he was like living with his baby's mother at the time, and they had a kid. And I was living with them, which was fine. It was actually very nice. But we were in a very like sort of neighborhoody suburban part of Queens. Right. There wasn't anything you could like walk to or do.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason I didn't like it. Harlem was fun because it was my first time being on the island, and it was wild. I had these Irish neighbors, and any night of the week you just knock on their door, and and it's 4 a.m.
and they're partying.
Oh, dude, it was nuts. It was
old were
fucking crazy.
The Irish?
And they were
from
crazy.
Ireland?
They were so crazy. Rachel Feinstein, who's one of my close friends and a really funny comic and obviously Jewish, I brought her out one night with one of the Irish guys I used to live next door to, and I'm like, you're going to love this guy. He's great. He's nuts. And we're hanging out for a while at this bar, and she comes over to me. She's like, okay, I'm going to go. And I go, why? And she's like, your Irish friend is telling me that the numbers of the Holocaust were greatly exaggerated.
Oh, God. Is he a Irish from Ireland? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, no.
Okay, so, hi, the fucking Jews, there's a bunch of lies, a bunch of shite.
He wasn't saying it like that. He wasn't saying it like you fucking liars. There was somehow a strange sense of sympathy in his voice as he was also saying he thought the numbers were exaggerated.
Oh, God.
But it was, the point is that he was just a fucking lunatic. There was no filter on his brain.
Right.
He wasn't saying it like, God damn it, I'm sick of hearing about it. It was just shit would just leak out of his mouth. He was saying it like, have you ever really thought about it? Let's think about it. It's like, no, let's not think about it. Like, let's just not talk about it.
That's one you can't fuck with.
No.
Some dude sent me this fucking email. Can you refute this video? Which is, whenever someone sends you a YouTube video on anything, you gotta go, okay, is there other shit out there? Are there books? Have scientists look at this? Have scholars studied this? Like, you send me a YouTube video, I'm gonna listen to it, but since I'm not an expert on the Holocaust, I don't know what the fuck
exactly
what's wrong in this video. But it was like they're talking about how different places couldn't be actually used for gas chambers, and it was bullshit. A guy ruined his career because of this.
I watched that documentary.
Dr. Death.
That documentary is amazing.
Yeah, fantastic documentary. It's called Dr. Death.
Yeah.
And it's about this guy who was an engineer for these execution devices. Mm-hmm. And these, I don't know, let's, Holocaust deniers, Holocaust revisionists, whatever you'd want to call them. I mean, I don't think they were denying the Holocaust, but they were saying that it was exaggerated.
Yes.
And this guy went over there, and because of these people, he gave this really fucked up, inaccurate, unscientific assessment of certain famous sites where fucking hundreds of thousands of people documented were murdered.
Yeah.
And he was saying that it couldn't have happened, and then it just
Yeah, he went to court over that.
Yeah.
And then he lost his family.
Yeah,
it was his whole life. It was it.
He was devastated.
That
It's
was the
not
end of
something
it.
you can be wrong about.
No. You don't want to roll the dice on the Holocaust.
But
you know what
what's
I mean?
fucked, man? You know what's fucked?
Yeah.
There's other Holocausts that people don't even know about, like the Armenian genocide.
Right.
Like, I didn't even know about the Armenian genocide. It's a true story until I was in the Octagon interviewing Manny Gamburian. And I think you could tell by Manny Gamburian's name, he might be Armenian. And Manny's a great MMA fighter, and he's very proud to be from Armenia. And he was talking about the anniversary. It was like he won on the anniversary of the Armenian genocide. And he was talking about like raising awareness for Armenian genocide. And I was like, I don't even know what this is. And then I looked into it. It's just fucking horrible thing.
I didn't know about that either.
More than
Embarrassing.
1 million dead. I mean, it's a terrible story.
Yeah. I was driving. I live on the east side, and I was driving. I was writing on a TV show for a little while, and I was driving to work one morning, and I couldn't get to work because there was so much traffic. And I was just like, what the fuck is going on? It's 9:45 a.m. on Hollywood Boulevard. Why is this so backed up? And then I saw people like walking around with these shirts on that said our wounds are still open.
Whoa.
And I feel like I know I'm an asshole before I say this. I thought it was some kind of record release thing. And I was getting so mad. I thought like a rapper was having like a release day. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? And And
Our wounds are still open, our mouth are closed, our fingers is moving, I rustle my toes. Oh. My dick is pretty, my teeth is gold. You try to buy my album, but the shit's already sold. Out, son. Freestyle 2014. Much love.
Guess what? That's not what it was, dude.
No way. What was it?
It was for the anniversary of the Armenian genocide because I was driving through Little Armenia and I didn't know. And then I got to work and somebody was like, this is what this is. And I was like, oh, Jesus. I felt so bad, man. It's
scary shit, man, when you hear about stuff like that. And you're like, wait a minute. That was 1915? 1915. Armenian civilians escorted by armed Ottoman soldiers are marched through to a prison in nearby Mezrich, present-day Alagurch. It's impossible to pronounce. 1915. Between 1 million and 1.5 million people were murdered. Wow.
Yeah.
24th of April, 1915.
Now, do you think the other ones don't get mentioned, like this one, for instance, because they are so small in size compared to the number of deaths with the Jewish Holocaust?
I don't know.
Because Jewish Holocaust is like 6 million. This is 1.5, which it was a ton of people. But I mean, you know,
I don't know.
I wonder if that's why it gets they all get so overshadowed.
It's a good question. I mean, I don't look. That's a lot of fucking people. 1.5 million people. I can't imagine how it could ever be overshadowed. I'm ashamed that I learned about it while I was talking to somebody.
Yeah, well, that's why I asked the question, because it's like I can't justify in my head how something like that would get overshadowed, other than I guess maybe this other one was so much bigger. I don't know, man.
Maybe it's because the Jews control the media, Joe DeRosa. They know how to spread a story.
It's kind of like when, when Farrah Fawcett died, but then Michael Jackson died on the same day. He got all the press.
They died on the same day?
They died on the same day, and Farrah Fawcett got nothing. Remember that?
Oh, poor Farrah.
I know it's a trite parallel to draw.
She didn't even fuck any kids, allegedly.
I know. I'm not convinced he did still. I'm still not convinced he did.
I have a theory. It's a very bad theory. I'm going to tell you right now. If you go, Joe Rogan's a moron, I agree with you. Okay, I'm on your side. I think I'm a moron too. But I think there's a possibility that he might have been what they call a castrata. Do you know what a castrata is?
No.
Castrata music, I think I'm saying it right, is a type of music where they would castrate young boys. And they would castrate young boys so that they would sing at this incredible pitch that didn't sound manly at all. It's very bizarre. It's very freaky. You can hear it online. Haven't we played it on the podcast before? Let's play some just for DeRosa, because he's never heard it before.
Okay.
But there's a style of music that was created by castrating boys. Because when you remove their testicles, they don't produce testosterone. And they have this weird sort of, it's this androgynous sort of sound to their voice. And it's feminine, but like a little bit masculine. And it's very similar to how Michael Jackson is. If you see Michael Jackson's brothers, they look manly as fuck.
And they sound manly.
Yeah, they sound manly. He stayed really slender. He stayed like a guy who had no testosterone. He didn't look like a man who had testosterone. He was really slender.
I think this is a great theory.
It's not a bad theory.
I think it might have happened to me, by the way.
Well, it's also the thing about these men, or they're men now, but they say that they were molested by Michael Jackson. No one says he fucked them.
No.
It was all like weird touching stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't think there was anything going on there. I think that's why he longed for childhood. I mean, it's a terrible theory. Again, I'll tell you right now, it's not backed by any facts.
I don't think it's a terrible theory.
But listen, this is a castrata. This is a long time ago, by the way. This is like, was it early 1900s?
Yeah.
These recordings, I mean, they don't do this anymore unless I don't know about it. But there's something to Michael Jackson's voice when you listen to the way he would sing that, fuck, man, that doesn't sound like any guy I've ever heard.
No, it's.
Why? Tell him that it's human nature. Why? Does she do it that way?
I tried to do Thriller once at karaoke, and I almost had a fucking aneurysm.
Yeah.
It's so high.
Yeah.
It's so, like, you can't Try to sing it. Try to sing the chorus. No, without.
And no one's gonna save you from the beast about to strike.
But do it without doing the falsetto.
I can't.
You didn't sing it in falsetto. Just try.
I can't fucking sing anyway. Okay, here's this terrible. Here we go. Because this is Thriller! Thriller night, and no one's gonna save you from the beast. No, I can't sing.
Yeah, you do it falsetto.
I can't do anything else.
Yeah,
I can't sing.
It's impossible. It's impossible to hit those notes. Like, it's past Geddy Lee. Mm-hmm. It's like way past Geddy Lee.
Well, Geddy Lee, who I love, still sounds like an odd man. I love Rush. But when you listen to, like, Living in the Limelight, when he's singing that song, he sounds like an odd man. It doesn't sound like something that can't be achieved. When you hear Michael Jackson sing, you go, something's going on here. And I can't fucking put my finger on it. It's not male.
No, yeah. It sounds womanly. Well, I mean, it's and that's forever been the joke about him.
Well, I think there might be something to my stupid theory. And I think it's because I have this connection with I have this like weird thing about him because I've always wanted to know like what makes a person want to stay a child, because I've always been accused, and rightly so, of being immature. I'm very immature, but it's almost on purpose.
Right.
Because when I grew up, I saw these people that were mature, that were living these mature lives, and they were fucking miserable, man. They suffered all day. There was no reward. They came home to a wife they hated. They lived a shit life, and a lot of them died young. I saw it in front of me. I didn't want to do that, so I tried to figure out every way I could to rebel against work. And I remember seeing like this guy and seeing Michael Jackson, how brilliant he was, but how odd it was, and how he always had like these amusement park rides at his house, and he invited little kids over, and I'm like, what was wrong? It's beautiful that the guy wanted to help kids. It's beautiful that the guy always worked with these people that were sick and these kids that were dying. It is beautiful. But what was it that connected him so much to childlike things? Like, why was he so childlike? Why did he never have... I mean, he had children, but they weren't really his children. They were white kids. They're fully white kids. If you look at him today, you can say, well, these didn't come from his DNA. They might have been his children, but...
Yeah, it's very odd. It's very odd also how much his children are out of the limelight. There's no connection with them to Michael Jackson.
No, none.
None whatsoever.
Which is good. I mean, they're just kids. They don't deserve it.
I do think it is good, but I mean, even like with other celebrities that attempted to keep the kid out of the spotlight, like, you know, Eminem doesn't, aside from talking about her, doesn't like put his daughter out there.
Right.
And he's like staunchly opposed to it. Yet we all kind of know what she looks like. Mm-hmm. We all know who she is. Like if you saw her, the same thing with Cobain and Courtney Love's kid. But Michael Jackson, it's like I couldn't pick those kids out of a fucking lineup.
Well, that's good. I hope that's because the family sheltered the kids from all the crazy people. That I mean, you want to talk crazy people? Michael Jackson was a star on a level that we can't even begin to comprehend.
No.
I mean, this is a guy who couldn't leave the fucking house. If he left the fucking house, there would be a swarm of people.
Yeah, I met a girl...
Jamie, one more round, sir. Let's do this again. Yes, Brian, you're going in. Don't be a pussy.
I knew a girl that knew Britney Spears.
Whoa.
Like, in recent years, I mean. And... I was like, what's she like? And she goes, she's really down to earth. She goes, she's really cool considering especially who she is. And she was like, dude, she literally can't go anywhere in the entire world without being known. Like, I can't even fathom that.
Stanhope is buddies with Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
Johnny Depp's a Stanhope fan. Johnny Depp contacted Stanhope about some project. They got together and started hanging out with him in England. And he realized when they were hanging out, he goes, oh, you can't go anywhere. Like he can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
He doesn't go anywhere. He brings a chef over to his home. When he was over at his house, not Keith Richards. Who's in the Rolling Stones? Keith Richards.
Mick Jagger.
The other one. Who's the other one? Ron.
I don't know.
Who the fuck is in the Rolling Stones? Who's the other guy? Ron Wood? Is that his name? Shit. What are we retarded? How do we not know who's in the Rolling Stones?
I'm trying to remember the drummer's name, and I can't remember his name.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Okay, Rolling Stones. Who the fuck is in the Rolling Stones? God, isn't that funny? You only remember Keith Richards.
I was never a big Stones guy, so
How
I
dare
barely.
you.
Yeah, me neither.
I only
How
learned the
dare
first
the
two.
both of you?
I love the logo though, with the lips or the tongue or whatever the fuck.
Even on
it
their
is.
website, they just expect you to know who the fuck everybody
you?
is.
Yeah, back in the day, that was sexual as a kid growing up. It's
You're
like-
a weird kid.
I think the
man.
logo is what stopped me from getting into them. The logo is where it stopped for me.
You know what? I should shut the fuck up right here because I probably shouldn't even say what happened. It's probably good.
Okay.
Ron Wood, that is his name. Anyway, the point is they were all hanging out, and Stanhope realized, oh, Johnny Depp is too famous. Like,
Right.
he's gotten way too famous. And it apparently was from those Pirates of the Caribbean movies. From there on out, there's no more going to restaurants.
Dude, when Chappelle came back from Africa, when he ran off from the TV show and everything, when he came back, he went on this tour, and I toured with him. And I know Dave isn't, Johnny Depp, but he's pretty fucking famous.
Pretty fucking famous. Yeah.
And it was crazy, man, because we were doing these shows, and I was opening for him for like 2 weeks, and he'd literally just be like, "Want to go to the mall, man?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, let's go." And he'd be like, "All right, let's go." And literally, I would walk to the mall with Dave Chappelle, no security, nothing, and cars were screeching in the fucking streets. People were jumping out of their cars. They were running up to... We went to a Foot Locker in the mall. We had to leave through the back exit because so many people were flooding in because he was... The worst part was we went... A pack of people followed us to the hotel. It followed him. I was just there. But a pack of people, like fucking dogs, followed him to the hotel. Like, I'm talking...
And they're all going, I'm Rick James, bitch!
Yes, they
Bunch
were...
of white dudes with backwards baseball hats on.
Yeah. And no, it was like a lot of like fat white guys, I remember. and they followed us. There was like 30 people. I'm not exaggerating. We got to the hotel. The concierge at the hotel had to literally hold the people back so we could get onto the hotel or into the elevator. And as the doors were shutting, a guy got around the concierge and ran up and literally put his phone almost against Chappelle's face and goes, "Say something funny. My friend's on the phone. Say something funny." And Dave just kind of stared at this guy, and we got in the elevator and the door shut. And I go, "Dude, I don't know how you didn't just lay that dude out, man. That was like the rudest thing I've ever seen anybody do to a person." And he was just like, "What are you gonna do, man?" That's
why he was high all the time. That's why you need to stay high when you're that famous.
Yeah.
All day.
But he gave me the best advice ever that I ever got in comedy. And I talk about this in my act a little bit. I tell the story. But we were hanging out after we did a show one night in Cleveland at this big amphitheater. And after the show, I'm talking to these two girls. And they're like, "You're so funny." And I'm like, "Why don't you come back to the hotel? Come hang out. Dave might stop by."
Did you say that? Yuck.
Yeah, I was trying to pick up these chicks. He actually was going to stop by, though.
But imagine if you were in the middle of boning her and she heard Dave's voice and she's like, "Get off me."
Yeah, exactly. So
imagine if he's cock blocking you by standing in the living room. "I'm Rick James, bitch." "Oh my God, is that him? Get out of me. Get out of me. I need to meet him. He's not going anywhere. I'll come in 30 seconds.
He was an awesome...
No, rape.
He was an awesome wingman because he's married.
Right.
And he was like a great dude about it. He was just like, he would sit there and like talk to you, with the chicks, and then like he'd peel off and then you'd be there with the chicks, man. It was fucking beautiful.
And the chicks would go, "You must be special."
Oh, dude. Well, they also just saw you open for... Dude, it was... So...
Oh, look at you. You're glowing.
Oh, dude, it was nice.
He's so happy.
It was nice. It was really nice. So I was talking to these two girls after one of the shows in Cleveland, and I'm like, "Come back to the hotel," and they're being wishy-washy. And I'm like, "All right, whatever." And they take my number, and I go backstage. And I'm bitching to Dave and the tour bus driver about these chicks. And I'm like, they're fucking just being all wishy-washy, and I don't know this, and I don't know. It's just annoying. Just fucking hang out if you're going to hang out. And the bus driver goes, "Joe, I'm going to tell you what you need to do, man. You need to walk up to that girl, look her dead in the eye, and say, 'Do you want to suck my dick or not?'" Right? And
Wow.
I was like...
Terrible advice.
I was like, okay. And I was considering it for a second. And then Chappelle goes, "Don't do that shit, man. Don't do it. You're going to fuck around, Joe. You're going to get famous one of these days. 10 years from now, that bitch will be on hard copy going, Joe DeRosa told me to suck his dick in Cleveland once."
Well, the reality is, even if that didn't happen, there's going to be a girl, if you get famous, that just remembers a story that never happened at all about Joe DeRosa telling her to suck your cock.
Right.
I've had fucking people tell me stories about me that absolutely didn't exist, that never happened.
Really?
At fucking on the podcast. Remember Crash was telling a story about a fight in New York that never took place. About how I told this guy, can you handle that guy? I'll take the other two. And I went over and kicked some guy in the head. It never happened. None of it happened.
Really?
And he was like arguing with me that it happened. I'm like, dude, I am telling you. I haven't fought anybody I haven't had a street fight since I was in high school. All right? I've avoided every single physical altercation outside of competition since high school. So this never happened. It's impossible that it happened.
That's a great rumor though about you. It makes you sound
terrible.
like a killer.
It makes me sound like an asshole.
I don't think it makes you sound like an asshole
It
at all.
totally makes me sound like an asshole. Listen, whenever you see a bunch of people and you're like, can you take that guy? We'll take it. Why wouldn't you just turn around and get the fuck out of there? That's the smart move. The smart guy walks out of there.
I see. I'm a little fucking wisp of grass that can't fight at all.
Wisp of grass. That's the most fucking the weakest thing you can ever be while stand up straight. That's such a funny descriptive. A wisp of grass.
I remember seeing Attell once on stage, and there were 3 fat girls in the front row, or no, there was 2. I think it was 2 thin girls and a fat girl in the middle. And I don't remember why he said this to the fat girl, but it was something about how she didn't think she was fat. And he goes, "Oh, I know, right? You look at you sitting there like a little blade of grass."
A little blade of grass. I think he's fat shaming. That's outlawed now.
That's not cool, guys.
On the internet, fat shaming is fucking male hypocrisy / patriarchy / privilege / keep going.
But I would love a story like that. I would like. My point is I'm a pussy. I would love to be in a situation where I literally go, I can take this guy. Can you take that guy? I would just never be in that situation.
Why do people make stuff up like that? Things that never happened. I had a guy come up to me at a party and he goes, "My dentist played golf with you." And I go, no, it wasn't me. He goes, "Oh, yeah, you're the guy from Fear Factor. My dentist played golf with you." I go, "Dude, I've never played golf, ever. In my whole life, I've never played golf."
It's probably that other Rogan, that sports newscaster, and it's just like...
Probably.
You know what I mean?
He probably plays golf, Fred Rogan.
Fred Rogan, yeah.
Yeah, it might be. But he was insisting. It was the Fear Factor guy. He was insisting.
Yeah, it's... I don't know, man. I don't know. If I ever reach your level, like... I'll be able to relate to these stories. I wish I had rumors floating around about me. I got nothing going on right now.
There's rumors from high school that never happened. That I talked to a friend who knew a friend of mine from high school. Things that happened that never happened.
Like what?
Just violent things. Mostly violent things.
Were you always this guy, like a cut fucking MMA type dude?
Well, from high school on, I did martial arts like pretty religiously. That was my whole life from like 15 on.
Am I crazy? Because I remember when I would see you on news radio, I don't remember you being jacked like this, though. Were you cut up like that back then?
There was a whole videos of me taking my shirt off. I had to wrestle Andy Dick once and fucking remember that? Okay. You can probably find that. Yeah, I wasn't as big. I didn't really lift weights until I started doing jiu-jitsu. And I started doing jiu-jitsu in 96. So that was when I started lifting weights, and I started hanging out with Eddie Bravo, my good friend Eddie Bravo, my best friend, like around 99, 2000, somewhere around then. And we started lifting weights pretty seriously right after that because I started really getting into jiu-jitsu.
Okay.
And one of the things about jiu-jitsu is just protecting your joints and protecting your back and protecting your neck and all these different parts of your body. And that adding muscle to your body keeps you from getting injured. It's kind of important.
Okay.
And also it gives you more strength to execute moves. It's just like jiu-jitsu is a very, very grueling activity, and the stronger you are, I mean, it's good. It's most important to be technical, to understand the technique, but the stronger you are, the better. So I started lifting weights pretty seriously around then. So this is me when I didn't even lift weights. This was like...
Was this from the show?
This is from news radio, yeah.
I like how I asked that. No, it's a real match between you and Andy Dick.
That's what I looked like with no weightlifting at all. That was just kickboxing.
Jesus. That was pretty good.
Yeah, but then he tickles me and kicks my ass.
Fights like I would.
I was just about to say the same thing to you, Joe.
All right, dude, that's it.
Yeah, it is it.
So stupid. Shut it up now. How dare you? So,
I like that show.
yeah, that was like probably 1990. Well, Phil was alive, so it was before 90. I think he was murdered in 98. Mm-hmm. So
Yeah.
before that, it was probably 97, 96. So, no, there was no lifting weights back then. It was just kickboxing.
Jesus, man, you were ripped, dude. You still are.
You want to talk about it? Take your pants off.
Do you even
I got nothing to add to it. It's nothing I have anything to say about.
Well, I went.
I don't understand it. Like, I don't mean that in a derogatory way.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
That was I went down a different path. Like I don't understand. I have friends that do extreme sports. Like they do like they jump bikes and shit like that, motorbikes and stuff like that, and do flips, and they're all busted up. And like I know this dude Eric Apple, he broke his wrist so bad it's like an inch shorter. It's like he's had like all the ligaments and shit, and he went on from that to do MMA fighting. He's just crazy people. Like
Jesus Christ.
But that's how he grew up.
Uh-huh.
I literally grew up doing martial arts competition. So that was it made me a way more balanced person, if that makes any sense. I would have been way more fucked up. Given my circumstances, I needed something to throw all my energy in. I just had so much angst and anxiety and insecurity. I needed something, and I found it in martial arts. But it just happened to be the thing for me at that time. So that's why. It's not like...
It makes perfect sense.
It's not for everybody. It can help you though if you're looking for something to do to give you some physical exercise, and also it gives you a kind of understanding of your body and fear.
I wish I had been pushed in that direction at a young age, because I'm too old for it now. And
How old are you?
I'm 37.
You're not too old for it. My friend's dad started doing jiu-jitsu when he was 57.
Really?
He got his black belt. I think he was like 65 or 66. He got his black belt.
Maybe I should. I don't know. I have such terrible anxiety and angst issues still, and I'm in like therapy for it and stuff. But
what's the main? I mean, if you want to talk about this, but
sure.
Do you have a main fear, a thing that fucks with you?
My fear of death is pretty tremendous, and extremely irrational. It's almost crippling.
Wow. Have you done any psychedelics, like heavy doses of mushrooms or heavy doses of? Yeah. What have you done?
I don't know what heavy doses are, but I mean, I took my share of mushrooms and acid through the years.
Open your hand and show me what's the biggest dose you've ever taken.
No,
that's not good enough, son. You're showing me a little tiny, like quarter size.
I remember tripping for like 11, 12 hours on acid, like stuff like that.
Well, I don't have any experience with acid, but I do have experience with mushrooms. And my experience is that there's a big difference between like a couple caps and stems and a fucking handful.
Uh-huh.
It's a handful. You want like 5 grams. When
Okay.
you do when you do like those big trips, that's when you just go, it just obliterates your ego. And you go just deep into the realm of perception and of understanding your position in this great thing that you see in front of you, and how much your position in this great thing being the entire universe itself, how much of your position is distorted by your own ability to recognize your surroundings and your need to survive, and then your ego, which comes into place and wants you to get laid, wants you to be fed, wants you to stay, alive and competitive. Like all those variables, they fuck with your ability to understand the true nature of reality. And sometimes a real ego obliterating experience is what you need just to kind of put it in place.
See, the problem is now for me, and I had some brushes with that in my time that I would do these heavier psychedelics. But my problem is now is that my anxiety is such an issue that I wouldn't be able to handle it.
Wow.
I can't even handle pot now. I mean, if I went into a hard trip like that, I would start freaking out. I turn too inward. I'm a pretty lethargic guy, so I've always been more of a fan of stimulants than barbiturates and depressants, which is what eventually pulled me away from marijuana, because my problem with marijuana is I'll smoke it and I go deep into my head.
Right.
And it's bad. If I had smoked any weed before I came in here today, I would be panicking right now.
Right now.
Because I feel I feel a general anxiety just being here.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Not
What is the general anxiety? Just anytime you're talking to people, or that you're online?
I definitely have, self-esteem issues and issues about my own achievement and worth. So when I do something like this for the first time, I'm like the first few times, I am nervous because I'm like, don't fuck it up. Don't fuck this up.
Right.
This is a guy you don't know, because I don't really know you. You know what I mean?
We know each other kinda, but we're like, I mean, I consider you like a comrade, a colleague, a fellow comic. Every comic that I know that's a comic, like you get sanctioned by Jimmy Norton or any of those guys, you're in. You can stay at my house. I don't even know you, but if you want to stay at my house, you can stay at my house.
And
that's how I feel.
Thank you. And I honestly feel the same way about you, and not because I've known you from TV for longer than we've known each other personally. Like, I feel the same way. I feel like we're part of a fraternity, and not just because of comedy, but it's a little more specified for us, I think, because we're part of the O&A camp. And, that's a special camp.
Yeah.
It was a special camp to be a part of. So
it still is. I don't know if they're ever going to sort that out, but it's not the same. I love Jimmy and I love Opie, and they're great together, and I listen to it all the time. But God damn it, I miss Anthony.
It is a bummer. It's a real bummer. That's a well. Let me answer your
answer the first question. We'll get back to that.
But so I feel like everything I do. For instance, right now in LA, and trust me, it's not a terrible anxiety right now. I was excited about this too. Like, a lot of it is just excitement and interpreting the excitement, but. I'm doing a part on a TV show right now that looks like it might last for a little while. I don't know yet because it's sort of episode to episode. But with something like that, like every time I do it, I'm like, don't fuck this up, dude. This is you know what I mean? And that's what I do. And it's terrible. It's a terrible, terrible anxiety. It doesn't prevent me from performing. It doesn't prevent me from delivering, but it's there. And it's the kind of thing where if something does go wrong, I have a very hard time just leaving it behind me and going, it was a bad day at work, dude. Let it go. I did a charity event last night, and it wasn't a great show. And this was a huge step for me today. I woke up with anxiety about it at 4:30 in the morning. Why'd you do this bit? Why'd you do that bit? And I was just like, dude, you didn't do anything wrong. You just weren't the best choice for that gig. That's it. It's okay. You didn't do anything wrong. And I think most people go down that road first. And my whole life, I've never gone down that road first. I go down the blaming myself road first.
Well, let me be honest with you then. I've had shows where I had a great set for 90 minutes, and I'll close badly or fuck up something, and I can't sleep.
Yep.
I'll wake up in the middle of the night, and I'm just in a hurricane.
Yeah.
A hurricane of anguish and being upset. But I think that's because I care.
Yeah.
It's because I care.
Yes.
Because I don't want anybody leaving a show ever and feeling like, I don't ever want. I know they paid money. That drives me fucking crazy.
It's
I know
horrible.
They got babysitters. They planned it out. They saved their money for that. I don't want anyone to ever think that I ever take that for granted, because that would drive me fucking crazy. If I went to see someone and I knew they didn't give a shit and they took it for granted. That's one of the worst things a performer can ever do with their audience. Is disrespect their audience.
Right.
Yeah, I brought this up before, but I'll bring it up again. It's what I call the Joe DiMaggio principle.
Right.
Because I remember this quote when I was a kid. Joe DiMaggio was like 40 years old, sliding into third base, and the guy on the other team goes, why are you playing so hard? You're already in the Hall of Fame. And he goes, because someone out there is someone in the audience that hasn't seen Joe DiMaggio play. And I don't want to let him down. That's
so great. Laurie Kilmartin said once to me, years ago, I was opening for her in Philadelphia, and I said, how do you manage to go out and show the same enthusiasm every set? Because I noticed throughout the weekend that she was doing that, and I was having a hard time with that at that point in my career. And she said, just think about it. She's like, you're a fan of comedy. Haven't you ever seen a comedian that makes you laugh so hard you want to fall over? And I go, yeah. And she goes, there's a chance somebody in the audience, that's going to happen because of you tonight. Yeah. So you should always have that in your head, and that's the DiMaggio thing you just said. Yeah. You know what I mean?
It's a lot of times just a perception issue, like how you deal with things. Like I had a friend that came up to me once. We were in Vegas, and I brought him to some fights. And after the fights, It gets pretty fucking crazy. It's, there's 18,000 people there, and you try to
Yeah.
wake your way through the casino. Good luck. You're going to get stopped every 5 seconds. And he was
Right.
like, does it get annoying? I go, well, there's certain times where I have things that I have to do, where I have to leave. Like I have to go to a show,
Right.
or I have to meet someone for dinner. I mean, I have to be there by X amount of time. I just have to say no. But for the most part, it's just a bunch of people being nice.
Right.
But my attitude about it is always that every time I meet someone, I reset. Because it's like, I don't ever think of it as like, oh, here's another person. Every time I meet someone, I reset.
Right.
So it's a total new experience because I know it's a new experience for them. And
Right.
if I don't accept that, I can't always say yes. I can't always call your friend. I can't always fucking take pictures. I have to go sometimes. Like sometimes it's unavoidable. There's 100 people and you got to be out of there because you're supposed to be somewhere in 5 minutes.
Right.
I can't be late for a show. I can't be late for an interview or an appearance that I have to do or whatever
Sure.
the fuck that's obligated.
Yeah, no, and I think that reset mentality is great. Like, when I first started doing O&A, Burr told me years ago, he was like, listen, here's what you do. He goes, you're doing the show now. Guys are going to start coming out to see you. You sell your merch, you shake everybody's hand, and he goes, and talk, and just talk. He goes, sometimes you can't spend a lot of time with everybody, but talk to everybody, say hello. And he was like, and that's what you do, dude. And not that I would have done any different, but him saying that really cemented it into my head.
He's a great guy.
Yeah. And I've seen him do it, and I've always done it. If there are fucking 2 people in the audience that wanted to see me, and it was the shittiest show of all time because there were 98 that didn't give a fuck about who I was and heckling or whatever, I spent time with those 2 guys and talked to them. You know what I mean? And I talked to them like, you know what I mean? Like
a
I'm
normal
talking to
person.
you.
Yeah, that's how it should be.
You know?
Burr said once that something that I thought was really cool. He said we were just talking about how everything's going really well for him and he's real happy. And he says, I remember when I was a kid. And I'd go to see a band, and then the new song sucked, and I just wasn't into it. They put on a bad show, and I felt like they fucked me.
Yep.
And he goes, and I know that if people come out to see me, they're fans, and I'm not gonna fuck them.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna fuck them. I'm gonna write hard. I'm gonna work hard. I'm gonna get out there and I'm gonna give it my best. I don't want to fuck them. That's a great attitude.
It is. I mean, he works so hard, and he delivers to his fans what they deserve. I think everybody. Excuse me. I think everybody, many comics do that, but I think, again, like, what was always special to me about, or one of the things that was always special to me about being part of that O&A fraternity was that those comics all did that.
Yeah.
Everybody delivered. You know, everybody had the mentality of it's a new year. I have to go back to that city again. I better have a new hour, or it better be the much, much better version of last year's hour, because I'm about to tape it or whatever it is, but, and it was, Patrice was like that, obviously, Norton, Louis, obviously, like these guys, Burr, like that's what they all did, One
of the great things about the Opie and Anthony show was that it was a hangout. Like, even if, like, Ricky Gervais came on or some big star came on, if you and I were on the show, we would still be on the show. And he would sit in there, and everybody knew to lay back and let someone talk, or occasionally everybody would jump in. I mean, it was completely free form.
Yeah.
And because of that, there was a lot of ball busting. Like when Bobby Kelly's on, the guy gets fucking tortured. When Voss is on, he gets tortured.
Yeah.
And because of that, like getting tortured, like everybody has to like mind their P's and Q's and be on the ball. You got to cover all your bases.
It's the snake pit, man.
Yeah, whereas if you do a lot of other radio shows, even big shows, it's one guest at a time.
Right.
And you don't get tossed into like that sort of Comedy Cellar table sort of scenario, or the parking lot at the store, or the bar at the Improv. Like there's that.
I always said when you went on O&A and it was a packed room, when you walked in and it was DePaulo, Bobby, or Burr and Patrice or whoever. When it was a packed room on O&A, I always said it was like getting dropped into it was like in Raiders of the Lost Ark when he hits the ground in that fucking snake pit. And it's just like, you better like have your torch up and be ready because they are coming at you from every fucking direction.
Snakes. I hate snakes. Yeah. Yeah.
Asps, very dangerous.
But it was also just fun. You know, it's like exciting to be in that room with Voss and Norton, and everybody's like, Norton says something funny, and then Voss will say something funny, and everybody's like chiming in and laughing, and it's just, it's so exciting.
It was. Those times were the hardest times I've ever laughed in my life. And I remember when I would have stints where I would quit drinking for a while, and I'd say, like, how the fuck am I going to have fun if I'm not going out drinking? You know? I would go, oh, that's right. I laughed the hardest I ever did in my entire life at 6:45 in the morning the other day, dead sober.
Yeah.
Because I was on Opie and Anthony.
Eating a bagel.
Yeah, watching Bobo pull his fucking pubes out or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, literally crying, laughing, like, till you couldn't breathe. You know? So it's like, I was like, okay, it's possible. It's possible to have sober fun, obviously.
Well, hanging out with comedians, I mean, that's the one thing. Me and Stanhope were talking once, and he said, I could quit comedy, but I could never quit hanging out with comics.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah, we were just laughing and fucking around, and we were just being ridiculous and making each other howl. And we were just both shaking our head, and he goes, I could never stop hanging out with comics.
That's great.
He goes, I don't fucking quit comedy. I could quit comedy. I could just stop performing. Just fuck it. I could just fucking smoke cigarettes and fucking drink beer and watch football. You know, I could do that. He goes, but I don't want to stop hanging out with comedians. Because it's like, I think a guy like Stanhope also, you get to a point where you realize, I mean, yeah, it's fun to do shows, and but nothing's going to change. You're not going to.
Yeah. And the best thing about hanging out with comics to me is, like, it's like the rings of hell. Because there's hanging out with comedians. Then there's hanging out with the comedians that are, that are the real comics, not just general comedians that are the pro guys or whatever, and girls. Then it's the ring below that, which is like, these are the pros that are fucking cool. That aren't egomaniacs or that. Then there's the ring under that where it's like, these are the pros that are ready to trash anything you want to talk about. Everybody on the other three levels would scoff at what we're about to say.
Yeah.
But we'll go after anything down here on this little ring, and it's the best.
Yeah.
It's the best,
Well, there's an art form to saying fucked up shit.
Yeah.
That you don't even necessarily really mean, but especially when a bunch of comics are getting together and they're vibing off of each other. There's that thing that we do where I'll try to say something like Tony the other day. What the fuck did he say about Joan Rivers when Joan Rivers died? Oh, if you hurry up, you can still get in bed with her. I was supposed to do In Bed with Joan. It was like she was doing a podcast where she would do it from her bed.
Yeah.
And I was scheduled to do it, and it got moved around, and I was waiting to reschedule it, and then she died. And it made me sad because I was a huge fan.
Yeah, me too.
And Tony Hinchcliffe goes, if you hurry up, you could still get in bed with her. It's not too late. She probably hasn't started rotting yet.
Oh, my God.
I don't think he said that, but I do, But you can't say that in normal company. But amongst comedians, to me, it made me feel good that he said that.
Oh, my God.
You know what I'm saying? It's like
it's hilarious.
Yeah, like Ari and I were talking last night. We went to Cantor's Deli late after his thing. We were driving home, and he was talking about how he thinks it's good to interact with regular people. Because he goes, I don't talk to anybody that's a comedian, and I think I'm not getting a balanced perspective. And he was like, you do this sports commentary stuff where, like, you'll go a whole weekend where you don't do stand-up and you talk to, like, athletes and you talk to, like, news people and stuff like that. Like, that's probably good for you.
Right.
And he goes, because all I'm talking to is psychos.
Right.
Who also, I could say something really fucked up, and they're like, yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah. When we... All right. I feel like I learned this in therapy. When somebody shares something with you, you need to share back.
Oh.
So you know that we're, like, on the level together. So I'm going to tell you a fucked up thing I said. But I was hanging out. I feel bad bringing his name, but I was hanging out with Pete Holmes.
Oh, you brought him in.
And it was right after... Robin Williams.
11th.
It was right after the Robin Williams thing.
Right after the Holocaust.
And they were saying it's an apparent suicide. They found him with the belt around his neck, and I was like, Pete, do you think it was a suicide, or do you think he was jacking it with the belt around his neck? And we just started laughing, going, apparent suicide always sounds way better in a newspaper than definitely was jerking off with a belt around his neck.
Yeah. In Robin's case, he cut his wrist too.
Yeah, I know that part hadn't come out yet, and
Yeah.
you know, it was. I mean, I have a human side. I don't want to sound like a cunt.
It's not a cunt. It's true.
I have
it's
a human
good point.
side. It's very sad to me that happened, and I respect that happened. And if I was related to him, I probably wouldn't want to hear a joke about it right now. But my point is like, you know, sometimes you're hanging out with comics and you can let those little thoughts out with them. That I think a lot of other comics, if I was on 9 out of 10 other podcasts right now, I wouldn't have felt comfortable sharing that. But see, you shared the crazy Joan Rivers joke, right? And then I share that back, and it's like we are. We're in the fucking 9th ring together. And Joan Rivers or Robin Williams, I think, would understand why those jokes were funny.
I don't have the right to say this guy's name because I wasn't there when it happened, but a very famous comedian came over to a table of comics at the cellar, and right after Robin Williams died, and went, "He was a joke thief, right? Fuck him,"
Really?
and walked away. And everybody was like, "Oh shit!" Right?
Jesus.
Like looked at everybody and went, "He was a joke thief, right?
Jesus.
The guy was a joke thief, right?" And everybody like nodded their head, and he goes, "Fuck him," and walked away.
Shit.
Yeah, and I wasn't there, so I don't know if it was funny. The guy's fucking hilarious, so I'm sure it was probably pretty funny when he said it. But that's a real thing too with people. That's a real thing where some guys never want to let that shit go.
Yeah, no, that's a very real thing.
I mean, especially if it was your bit. Like if you had a bit and all of a sudden it's on Letterman,
Look, I'll tell you, you know,
Mork's doing it.
there's something to be said for that "don't die with a grudge" thing.
Yeah.
But I also do think it's bullshit a lot of the time, you know? I mean, you watch that Ramones documentary, End of the Century, and they start talking to Johnny Ramone after Joey died, and they go, "Did you go visit him in the hospital?" He goes, "No." And they go, "Even when he was dying, you didn't go see him? You knew he was going to die." And he goes, "No. If I was dying, I wouldn't want him to come see me. I don't like the guy. We don't like each other."
Oh.
And I was just like, you know what, man? In certain ways, I tip my hat to that. It's like, yeah, like
Right.
this is what it is, man. Like, let's not stroke ourselves here.
There's
You know?
levels. You know, there's levels. Like there's some people that you have fallen outs with where you could sort it out. And there's some people you can't. There's some people I don't want to be around because I just don't want to feel them. I don't want to be in their. I think they're beyond my reach.
I
They're
agree.
beyond my hope. Their perception of reality is so different than mine that
I agree.
I don't want to hate anybody, but I don't want to communicate with them either.
Right. Well, you know, like my mom taught me a great lesson about that sort of thing. She said the opposite of hate isn't love. The opposite of hate is indifference. When you truly don't care about somebody, that's.
How's love? fit
Or
in
I'm
there, though?
sorry. Let me. I phrased it wrong. The opposite of love isn't hate. The opposite of love is indifference. That's what it is. Excuse me.
So where's hate fit in there? Is it in the middle?
Hate means you still care. Hate means you still love the person. It's not the opposite. Because if you hate, you're invested. You know? And I mean, I guess that investment doesn't necessitate love every time, but hate is investment. I'm spending my energy on you right now. I'm wasting my energy on you. You know, you're my ex-girlfriend. You did me wrong. It's 2 years later. I can't pick up a mop without yelling the word cunt at the ceiling because this is the fucking mop you bought when you lived here. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that's not the opposite of love. That's you're still invested. There's part of you still in there somewhere that wishes everything was okay. But indifference, when you truly say, I don't give a fuck if you live, die, breathe, whatever. Like I have nothing in me for you. You know, to me that's why they say with these fucking Twitter trolls. You know, I was arguing with people on Twitter for the last 2 days, and people are going, "Why are you going after them? Don't show them that you care. Don't show them." And yeah. Why am I showing them that I care? You know what I mean? Like indifference is what pisses off a Twitter troll.
Well, sometimes it's fun.
Well, it is. I do think there's a gray area, and that's the gray area was where I was trying to exist because I didn't like what people were saying about a friend of mine on there, so I was trying to defend him.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I mean, there's times where it's worth your effort to communicate, and there's times where it's not. It's a matter of how much emotionally you get invested in debating someone that you don't even know. I mean, you might meet them, they might be a fucking complete idiot. There's no reason whatsoever to even communicate with them. Like, what's the point in getting all riled up and upset You're not even involved with that person. You don't know them. You choose to be involved with them because of 140 characters that are on a page. You don't have to. You don't have to, you know?
Yeah, there was a guy today that I stopped following that really came after me pretty hard that I considered, I wouldn't say a friend. We didn't hang out, but like we were friendly. Excuse me. And, you know, our knowing of each other started in a weird way. He was kind of like being a bit of a troll one day to me, and I really went after him because I was in a really bad mood. And then I ended up meeting him at a party a year later, and he came up and introduced himself, and he's like, hey, man, I was just joking. I'm sorry that got out of hand, whatever. He ended up giving me a bag of weed. You know, he was really, really cool, and then we were cool, and then, like, over these last 2 days, he started tweeting me all this really fucking vicious shit about Andy Kindler, and Andy's my friend, and I was like, dude, I don't agree with you. Stop saying this shit to me, and stop putting my name in the fucking tweets like you and me ride together, and now my friend is going to see his name getting smeared, and my name's in the tweet too, and I'm just like, dude, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Stop. And I was writing that back to him with both his and Andy's handle in the tweets, and he just kept doing it. And I was just like, you know what, dude? Fuck it. I'm not doing this. And I wrote it, and other people chimed in, were saying the same dumb shit. I just wrote, to everybody that I'm arguing with right now on Twitter, please stop following me. I can't stand any of the shit you're saying right now. I'm serious. Stop following me. And they didn't. And I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. And I just unfollowed this dude. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Keep following a guy that's like waving his dick in my face? You know what I mean?
Depends.
And then, you know, and then he, you know, I wake up today at 4:30 in the morning with anxiety from having a bad set at a fucking charity gig last night. And I check my Twitter, and there's like 5 tweets at me from this guy. You were never funny. You're a piece of shit.
Oh
you're
my
this,
God.
you're that.
Who is this guy?
I'll say his name. It's Fred from Brooklyn is his Twitter handle. At Fred from Brooklyn.
Is he a comic?
I don't know what he does. I think he has a podcast. He's not like a guy anybody knows, except like he's part of that.
Don't put him up on the screen.
Yeah, he's part of that O&A crew. But like,
so he just was trying to hurt your feelings.
Yeah, it kind of made me sad, to be honest, because like he was doing it the way like a scorned lover does it. Like it's like, dude, 2 days ago you were telling me you love me, and now you're telling me I'm not funny. It's like you're just hurt. Your feelings are hurt. So it didn't upset me in that sense. And by the way, Fred, if you're hearing this, I'm not giving you attention because this got to me. I'm just mature enough to talk about this, and I don't give a fuck. I can't get into all the goddamn head games of don't say his name.
That dude's typing right now with sweaty fingers.
You know, it's just like, and it's like, and if you are listening to this, it's like, dude, I'm not even mad at you. It's like you were saying a bunch of shit I didn't agree with. And I was like, all right, dude, I can't fuck with you anymore, man. And he's writing, if you don't play Twitter by DeRosa's rules, he'll kill, unfollow you. He's a fucking cunt. It's like, dude, weren't you one of the same guys that stood up for Anthony and were pissed off that he came under fire for his words? So you can attack other people when their words come under fire, but I can't, but nobody can criticize your word. You know what I mean? Like, how the fuck does that coin? Yeah, that's a real convenient fucking coin you're flipping there. You know what I mean?
But why worry about what his fucking hang-up is? Why spend so much energy on it? That's the real issue.
Well, now we're back to the thing about the indifference.
Yeah.
It's not a lot of energy that I'm spending on it. It's just, I guess I don't remember why we got into Twitter, but oh, you were saying you know these people from the 140.
Yeah,
that's your only relationship to them.
Yeah, you don't have to.
He was somebody that I actually genuinely liked, like as a dude. And
troubled. It's a lot of troubled people.
Well, that's why I say I wasn't mad. It was more just like, it was like I feel bad, man. Like I just feel bad for you, dude. Like you're reacting the way like a dumped girl reacts right now. You know what I mean?
Well, you know, when someone says something like that to you, it alleviates any responsibility you have for continuing to communicate with them. Like, oh, you're being a baby. Okay.
Yeah,
and like if some people will do that and they'll expect you to fire back at them, and they'll do it wanting you to fire back on it. They want you to engage, and that's where indifference comes in. Like this isn't indifference necessarily because we're kind of discussing it, but you know, it's important to recognize what you want to invest your energy in.
Yes, I agree.
Certain amount of hours in a day.
I agree. I just don't like. I will say this: my only emotional investment in that back and forth, and like sending out a tweet that says "Please stop following me" to anybody that feels this way. I want people like that out of my life. I don't want them coming to my shows. I don't want them around. I don't, and it's not because they said mean things about Andy Kindler. I can deal with somebody saying mean things about Andy Kindler. It's the reasons they were saying the mean things about Andy Kindler. They're pissed off because Andy Kindler addressed the Anthony situation at Montreal, and now it's we see blood. And attack and kill, and it's fucking stupid. It's mob mentality. I don't agree with it. I don't want people like that behind me in any way, in any fucking way.
Well, Andy Kindler is a very progressive guy, very smart guy, and he, if he met Anthony and he had a conversation with him, maybe they would have a difference of opinion. Maybe they would argue. I don't know, but I respect them both.
Yeah,
it's a tricky situation where. The Anthony Cumia situation, for folks who don't know, Anthony from Opie and Anthony was fired because he was in a situation, I can't stop saying situation, it's stuck in my head. He was taking photographs late at night in Times Square. Some woman, he took her photograph, and she got mad at him. She hit him, yelling at him, screaming at him, and then he went on this rant about the African-American community, about violence, about all sorts of different things, and he got fired for the rant. And, if anybody pays any attention to him on the Opie and Anthony show, they know that he does that all the time. Mm-hmm. That style of communication is his thing. Mm-hmm. But you can explain yourself way better on a radio show when you're going back and forth with people and you cite statistics and facts about the African-American community. There's no doubt about it. I mean, there's no way to deny it. There's a disparity in the amount of African-American people that are in prison. There's a disparity in the amount of African-American people that commit crime. But that could be attributed to a bunch of different things: economic factors, the opportunities that they have as opposed to the opportunities that people that live in better neighborhoods have. And there's a lot of shit going on there. It's a complex, nuanced discussion, and you're not going to have a complex, nuanced discussion after you get punched in the face. You're just going to start screaming and yelling, and he should have just stayed off the air or stayed offline. What he should have done is talked about it on the radio show on Monday morning and expressed the whole story. So it's a sensitive issue.
Very sensitive, and I think that, I'll be honest with you, this is the first time I've ever talked about this publicly to anybody. And when this all happened, I got a lot of shit online about not coming out and saying stand with Ant or defend Ant or whatever, because I wanted to see the situation through before I said anything. Mm-hmm. And I didn't agree with the initial outburst on Twitter. But I thought to myself, okay, he was angry. It was fucked up. Let his blood fucking calm. Maybe he'll apologize or reword things or whatever. Also, too, I think if you're going to be somebody that complains about the problems in a community, you need to address those problems constructively and try to help offer solutions, not just yell from a hilltop about how fucked up it is and how you're pissed off about it. I don't think that helps anything. And that kind of addressing of a problem is what makes people start saying, what's going on with this guy? You know what I mean? It starts to sound like a very one-sided attack on something. Now, you can agree, or anybody could agree or disagree with that point, and we can even move beyond that point to this point, which is, after he went on that had that Twitter outburst, I was like, okay, that was unfortunate, but let's see what he says now. Then he went on Red Eye and was like, I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm not apologizing. I am not sorry for what I did. And I was like, okay, this is starting to get a little bit more complicated now. And then after that, I mean, by the time he went on that like white nationalist radio show to like defend himself, I was just like, I don't know where this is.
I didn't hear that.
Well, I saw it online.
Did you see a transcript, or did you hear it?
There was part of a transcript of some stuff he said, but I found online, because I was just kind of following the situation, that he had gone on basically a white nationalist podcast or radio show or something, And it's like the host of the show is on Wikipedia. He's got a Wikipedia page, and it was like the Wikipedia page was like, this is a guy that has had like Holocaust deniers and shit on his show.
Like your friend from Ireland?
He wasn't my friend. He was my neighbor. And I didn't know he thought that until it came out that night.
Hey, the Jews exaggerate a bit, lad. Always after me Lucky Charms.
By the way, if that guy had a radio show, I wouldn't have gone on it. So when I saw that, I mean, can you guys look it up? So it doesn't.
I don't want to publicize any fucking white nationalists.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
You know what I mean?
So anyway, so when I saw that, I was like, and saw some of Anthony's quotes from the show, I was like, this is getting fucked up.
So do you think he just went off the deep end because he was angry and he was trying to publicize the whole situation, or do you think he's really racist? Like, what's your take on it? You know him probably as good as I know him.
When it first happened, and I'm putting this disclaimer out before I say anything. I am fully aware of the hellfire that I might face for not just saying I'm with the guy on this stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm fully aware of it. I've thought about this very long and very hard. I am aware of it. I'm not, I'm just saying that. Anyway, when it first happened, I was like, this is really fucking unfortunate, and I want to believe that my friend fucked up, and I want to believe that my friend is going to redeem himself from this. And the further it went down the road, and finally, for me, the last final straw was the shit he was tweeting about the Ferguson situation. I was just like, I unfollowed him on Twitter. I was like, I can't do this, man. And that's not me saying, fuck you, Cumia.
Right.
That's me saying, like, dude, he has the absolute right to say whatever he wants to say. I would never, ever, ever say somebody doesn't have the right to speak out loud about what they have to say. But I also have the right to react to it. And I also have the right to say, if that's how you feel about this shit, I disagree so strongly. And this is such a, to me, an ethical and moral issue when you start dealing with race. I don't know how we can pal around still. You know what I mean? Because this is beyond like political differences to me. It's like once it starts getting into racial stuff, and I have to start thinking about what does it say to my black friends if I still hang out, with a certain person. It's a real fucking tight spot at that point. Yeah. And I also didn't agree with the whole thing where everybody was really on this like cancel your subscriptions thing. And what? And fuck Opie and Jim over? Fuck them out of a job? Let Sirius XM lose all this business? I mean, those guys were left in a really tough situation, and they're making the best out of it. And for everybody to that was behind Anthony to go, yeah, cancel your fucking subscription. Why? Well, now why are you fucking these people over? Why? What did they do? They didn't do anything. And it just was such a messy thing. It was just such a messy thing. And everybody was saying this is a free speech issue. It's not a free speech issue. Speech is free. Freedom of speech it's free. But it doesn't mean it comes without consequences. It works like a giant candy dish at your doctor's office. It's there for the taking, but if you don't handle it carefully or use with any responsibility, you're going to get sick and fuck yourself up a little bit. You got to be careful. There are repercussions for free speech. Free speech just means you're allowed to say it. It doesn't mean nothing bad can happen afterwards, And so when people were talking about, like, I can't believe that they fired him, it's like, well, whether you agree with him getting fired or not, you can't believe that they fired him. If you had a pizza shop and one of your top pizza makers was across the street saying that stuff and your customers could hear him, you'd be like, we get this fucking guy away from the pizza shop right now. This is bad for pizza business. So I don't see how SiriusXM's any different. Now, again, whether you agree with him getting fired or not is a different story. But to say we can't understand why he got fired, I just think it's such a closed-minded one-sided way of looking at it. I think it was approached with zero gray area. And,
on one hand, I kind of appreciate their loyalty. that they want to stick up for Anthony and they want to
Right.
do that. But there are real issues when you start discussing race that you have to take into consideration. And like this Ferguson thing, the Ferguson thing is a very unique situation because it's an incredibly impoverished community with a lot of fucking crime. A lot of crime and a lot of police brutality.
Right.
Like, it's just an awful place. It's awful. And it's not as simple as black people or white people. This is going to sound stupid, but I wish there was no race. I wish there was no color. I wish there was no differentiation other than your behavior. Because if that was the case, we would be able to look at behavior.
Right.
And we'd be able to look at all of these people that are involved in tremendous amounts of crime. Okay, what are the variables there? What are the single parent households? What are the absentee parents? What are the kids that are growing up with drug addicts? What are the kids that are growing up with crime in their environment constantly?
Right.
That's what's going on. It's not just black people. I know fucking crazy white people. I grew up with a lot of poor white people that were insane. They're just as goddamn dangerous as anybody.
Well,
there's nobody that's less dangerous when it comes to poverty and crime. It's like you get poverty and crime and bad scenarios and children potential that's growing up in this really distorted and fucked up way. You're going to get crazy people.
Sure.
People that grow up with crime commit crime. People imitate their atmosphere.
Sure.
People who grow up in terrible environments, it's very difficult to rise above, and you can't just say it's a black thing or a white thing. And just because it's in the black community more than it's in the white community, look, man, you got to take into consideration that 150 years ago, there was slavery, okay? And the great-grandchildren of those slaves are what you're dealing with today. And that's a real... And I'm not a fan of reparations or any of those ideas that a lot of people banter back and forth, but I am a fan of what I would call social or civil engineering. Social engineering is probably not a bad idea to try to rejuvenate impoverished communities that are predominantly one race.
Right.
I mean, it seems to me that those places are a trap. And if you're born in those places, whether it's poor white Irish people that are fucking criminals and meth heads, or whether it's black people that you grow up and both your parents are in jail, you're being raised by your grandmother who sells crack, that's a terrible environment. These are terrible environments that people are coming out of, and they're very commonplace.
Yeah.
That's the real issue. The real issue is children that grow up in these environments and become really fucked up members of society. It has nothing to do with race. It just so happens that a lot of them are black.
I agree. And that's why I think when statements start becoming things like that community is so quick to jump to violence and savages and statements like that, but
on one hand, he's right. On one hand, he's right statistically. But the real question is, why are those communities more likely? And is it because they've been ignored? As a society, we have an obligation to take care of our community, right? But how far does our community extend? That's where it gets really problematic, because our community, when we think about America as a community, it's 350 million people that stretches out thousands of miles. It's impossible to get everybody on board.
Right.
If we had a community and our community was 20 people and there was one guy who had no fucking money and was doing a terrible job raising his kids and he was on drugs all the time and his kids were left alone, we would take that kid in.
Right.
We would all take that kid in.
Right.
We all would. But we can't when there's a million kids like that. And then those kids grow up and they become adults and they were ignored and there's no love and there's just disastrous circumstances that they're growing up in.
Right.
That's what's wrong. I don't believe that it's a color issue. I believe it's an environmental issue. I think it's a genetic issue in that the genetics of the people that were in these fucked up environments, they're raising more people that are in these fucked up environments. It's epigenetics, learning from your environment, that passes on to the next generation. But it's not a race thing. It's just an environmental thing. It could be white people that are in poor neighborhoods like those gypsies in England. Those people are goddamn savages. Those people that are driving around those caravans, having bare-knuckle fights with each other, robbing everybody left and right. I have a friend who they're good friends in England. They're from England, and they have good friends in England that had to abandon their home because gypsies moved into a park next to their house. And when they have like these weird laws over there, when these gypsies show up, they're not all bad, I'm sure, but these particular gypsies that moved next to them were bad. They started robbing the neighborhood. They started
Right.
leaving their garbage everywhere. They would dig holes and shit in them. It was just chaos. They would stay up late at night and drinking and
Right.
screaming and fighting, and it was just, and they couldn't get rid of them. There was nothing they could do about them. It had nothing to do with race.
Right.
It had everything to do with who are these fucking human beings. There were white people,
Right.
and there were white people that were completely fucking out of control.
Right.
But if you took those same white people, raised them in a nice neighborhood, you raise them in Studio City, put them in a nice suit, and have them walk into their BMW, no one blink an eye. The same human being.
Right. No, yeah, I hear you. I totally agree. Can I go back to something you said
Yeah,
earlier?
sure.
When you said on the one hand you admire their loyalty for going with him.
I think it's short-sighted, but
Well, here's my thing. As far as I understood, it was about that show. The fan base, was about that show and about what that show stood for. And to me, nothing about saying fuck you to two other guys and we're going to 100% going to follow one guy was anything that show stood for. It showed zero unity to me. It just didn't. To throw two other dudes under a bus and go and have no consideration for the situation that they're left in. I understand if you want to have consideration for the position Anthony's in. Not saying they shouldn't have had consideration. I'm saying, but to have zero consideration for the other two and go, fuck it, we're out of here, canceled subscription.
well,
That's the thing I didn't agree with. That just felt like mob mentality to me.
I see what you're saying, but in their defense, I think what they were trying to do was there was only one way to force their hand. And the way wasn't to sit back. The way was to cancel subscriptions until Sirius brought Anthony back, as they wanted the show as a whole. So their idea wasn't to fuck Jimmy and Opie. Their idea was to cancel Sirius because it would force their hand and make them bring back Anthony.
Prove a point.
Yeah, that was the only thing that they could do. I mean, if you wanted to bring back Anthony, there was really no other way to act.
But I never felt. Now, look, I might be wrong.
How else could they have acted?
Just, hey guys, this is fucking unfortunate, and
Nobody listens to that.
and
you
will-
listen to economics. That's what
will-
people listen to.
We'll also subscribe to this thing over here now. Do you know what I mean? Because look, now I might be wrong about this, but as far as I could see, it was never painted in the light of we're leaving and we'll be back if you rehire him. It was fuck him, we're done. That 2 days later, Anthony was like, I'm starting my own show. It was, and for a week, 2 weeks, those subscription cancellations were coming in. So it never to me once came across as we're doing this now as a walkout, as a strike, and if you guys do what we think is the right thing, we'll bring him back. It struck me very immediately as like he's out the door, he's starting his own thing. These people are continually jumping ship, and I just think that kind of sucks for the other two guys. And I realize I'm not speaking for them right now. I don't know how they feel about it. And I don't mean to talk out of turn.
No, I know what you're saying.
But-
I see what you're saying. But I think for them, I can totally understand why they wanted a boycott. Because I think for them, that was the only way to voice their opinion in a way where the company would be forced to listen. If the company had 50,000 people cancel their subscriptions because Anthony Cumia got fired, and then everybody said, holy shit, we just lost X amount of revenue. Can we get Anthony to apologize and bring him back? Boom, he's back on the show.
Right. And he wouldn't have apologized, though.
Well, no. But I think there could have been a way to... I don't think an apology was as necessary or as an explanation and a discussion. I think if they had a discussion of the issue on Monday, he could have said the exact same things that he said in those tweets, but said them. And it's very different to hear someone say something, talk about being punched in the face by someone in the African-American community. See, but look, I got to take another position too, because I don't think you should have been taking a picture of that chick without her permission. I don't think it's cool to be, if you're a woman... and this I'm not a white knight here, okay? But hear me out. If you're a woman and some fucking dude on the street is pointing a camera at you and taking pictures, that shit's creepy. And maybe dudes don't think that way because they think they're innocent. They're just capturing. They would prefer to be anonymous. I'm just capturing the city. I just love taking photographs. I think it's a beautiful city. It's interesting. It's fascinating. I like taking pictures of cabs. I don't get their permission. This is a person. They're just happening to be walking down the street. I'm going to take a picture of them. I disagree with that. I think, especially in the case of a man taking a photograph of a woman, men are traditionally the pursuers. I mean, we're liars
Right.
if we pretend that there's anything other than that going on. Yeah, women pursue sometimes, but most creepers are dudes.
Right,
And when
yeah.
a dude is taking photographs, if I was a chick, I would immediately assume that he was a creeper.
Right.
So in my opinion, this woman, it was probably, I don't know what the fuck was said. See, so I'm even commenting out of school.
Well, that's the tough part. Is it becomes like the Watergate tapes. There's like this missing 20 minutes.
Well, there's
of thing.
missing all minutes. We don't have any time.
Right.
We have zero words.
Right, exactly. So I mean, it literally goes from I was taking a picture to I got hit in the face and called white motherfucker.
This
right?
is how I
So-
felt like this about the Zimmerman case too. Everybody was like, oh, this is a clear-cut case. That guy was a piece of shit. And, George Zimmerman's an awful person. And that kid, he should have been. Or then there's other people that said that kid was a punk. He was beating him up.
Right.
And he should have shot him.
Right.
My take was always like, what would have happened if someone who was cooler and they talked to that kid? What would have happened with someone who understands people better? What if the whole scenario had played out where it was a dude who's really good at communicating with people and very respectful and said to the kid, how you doing today, my brother? Everything good? And the kid said, everything's good, man. What are you up to? Who knows? Maybe the kid say, just head back from the store, man. All right, keep cool, stay dry. Who knows?
It's
You know what I'm saying?
It's exactly.
Like a fucking dork like George Zimmerman might have caused that altercation just by being a social fuckhead.
Well, I think I certainly thought so. I was open-minded to the point of going, I understand that the guy had his suspicions raised or whatever. But then when you listen to those cell phone calls and he's like chasing the guy around the neighborhood, it was so painfully obvious to me that here's a guy that just wants to be a hero. Here's a wannabe cop that wants to be a hero, and shit got out of hand. He bit off more than he could chew. He got his fucking ass kicked by a kid, and he ended up killing somebody over it. And like somehow slid through that self-defense loophole. Because how old was Trayvon?
16, 17.
Got on top of him and
Was beating his ass.
Yeah, was beating his ass. But look, it's like the Ferguson thing. Those two, all anybody was talking about was the video of the guy, the defenders of the cop. All they were talking about was the guy, shoving the guy in the convenience store and stealing the cigar, or whatever it was.
Right.
Two white witnesses came out yesterday, finally, and said, we saw the shooting and his hands were up. His hands were up when he was shot. So now regardless of this weird phantom gunfire shot that happened when the cop was in the car, whatever weird fucking altercation thing happened there, whether it was that dude's fault or the cop, whatever. Regardless of any of that, the guy is getting chased, the cop is chasing him. If he's got his fucking hands up, you're a cop, dude. At that point, that's it. You don't shoot a dude to death. You just don't.
Well, the guy who was the cop that shot him was also a guy that was a part of another band of cops that was so fucked up. They had so many complaints about them that they disbanded the whole department. And then he got hired by Ferguson.
Yeah,
he had a history of that kind of abuse.
Yeah. And it's so, to unless you don't want to talk about this anymore, but like, again with the Cumia thing, look, at the end of the day with Anthony, and this is why when I saw the Ferguson tweets, I was like, okay, that's it. I can't, because when you see him, I don't want to get into what he was tweeting, but like the point is that I harshly didn't agree with it.
Well, I think he's a bit like, I don't want to cast him in a bad light because he's my friend, but I think he's a bit like your friend that's a spurned lover. I think there's a little bit of that. That he's fired by this company. He's like, yeah, fuck you. I'm going to go even deeper with it now. I'm getting even more crazy with it now. I don't give a fuck.
No, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, he is. And I got to say, man, like, at the end of the day, the whole thing just makes me sad. And I know at probably deep in his core, Anthony doesn't really give a fuck about what I think. We were friends. And, like, we used to hang out. I was bummed out, man. I was bummed out that I felt like I got to a point with a friend where I was like, I don't think I can hang out with this guy anymore. And it really bummed me out.
But did you talk to him in person?
I texted him twice.
And what did he say?
He didn't respond to the first one. The second one, he responded to me. The second text I sent, I was a little pissed, honestly, that I didn't get a response from the first one. And then I texted him a second time, like 2 weeks later. And I said, hey, man, I don't know if you got my other text. But the first text was just like, hey, man, you know, I know you're going through some shit right now. I'm sorry that you're in a tough position, and I just want you to know I had great times in the studio with you, and I wish you well, man. Like, I felt like I could say that much to a guy, even though I didn't agree with the shit that came out of his mouth. I could say that much to him. I owe a lot of my career to Opie and Anthony and Jimmy. So that was the first text. I didn't hear back from him, and I was like, okay, fine. And then 2 weeks later, I texted him again. I said, hey, man, I don't know if you got my other text, but there's some guy online writing fake retweets of me saying really nasty shit about you. I go, I'm not, those aren't my tweets. That's not me. And then he responded to that one. He was like, hey, man, I always knew we were cool. Don't worry about it. Da-da-da-da. And I was like, oh, cool, man. Like, you know, let's have a beer at some point. Because in my head, I was like, this was still before the Red Eye clip, or at least I saw the Red Eye clip and stuff. And I was still thinking, like, this will turn around. This will turn around. That's what I just kept thinking. And after that, I started seeing all the other stuff. And that's when I started to be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And I'll be honest, man, like what really bummed me out one day was he like kind of, he knew I was getting a lot of shit online because his name was in the tweets. And he never once told these people to leave me the fuck alone.
But don't you think that he was, first of all, this was a national story. Okay,
Yeah.
this is a huge story. Don't you think that he was probably completely overwhelmed and may very well have been ignoring his replies because they were overwhelming?
He said nice things about Burr. He said nice things about Bobby Kelly. He said there's other comics. I don't remember.
He said nice things about me.
Said nice things about you.
He ignored you. He doesn't.
Yeah.
Doesn't like you.
I'm not important enough. I'm not important enough. Seriously.
Do you think that's it, or is it just like?
Here's why I think that's what it is. Here's why I think that's what it is. Because not only did he not help get some of the fucking heat off of me, and there was a lot of it, when he finally did address me on Twitter, as people like Colin Quinn and who's the guy from the Vice guy? What's his name?
Which Vice guy?
God damn him.
Shane Smith?
Not Shane. The guy that left Vice with the beard.
The guy who got in trouble recently for talking about transsexuals?
Probably.
Gavin? Yeah.
Gavin and Colin Quinn were getting tweets like, hey, would you please come do my new show? I'll send a car for you. Ha, ha, ha. DM me. Come do my show, please. My tweet in the midst. By the way.
Is Anthony
yes,
tweeting them?
Yes.
You sound like a Spurn lover now. Do you feel that?
No, I'm just gonna say something.
A lot of Spurn lover talk today.
By the way, some of my, I guess, anger about the situation is when you're sitting at your aunt's funeral, who was like a second mother to you, and your phone keeps buzzing because you're getting tweets like, "You're a talentless, selfish shitbag cunt. Stick up for Kumia."
Okay, well, you need to take those fucking replies off your fucking notifications. You don't have your phone buzz when people tweet you.
Right.
What are you, an amateur?
Right, but maybe.
Doug Benson.
But my point is like there was some personal stuff in there because I was like I'm getting shit for not. This guy doesn't give a fuck about me.
Okay.
Obviously, like he's doing whatever he wants.
Well,
Why am I being held?
Maybe he's just overwhelmed, man. You know, I mean, you got to talk to a guy before you form an opinion. In my opinion.
Well, this was the tweet I got.
Okay.
Hey, fuckhead.
From you? From
Anthony.
Oh.
Hey, fuckhead. Are you going to do my show when you're in New York? That's the tweet I got when he knew there was bullshit going on online. Then he calls me out in front of everybody like, you're on the spot, douche. Let's go dance. Are you coming on or not? And I responded, you know I'm 10% black, right? Because I thought that was fucking funny.
Right.
And nothing. Nothing.
Okay.
Not a favorite, not a reply, nothing.
Very personal. Probably shouldn't have aired it out in this manner.
Why?
You got all worked up.
I'm not worked up.
But this is all just an interpersonal situation. We were talking about like a more complex issue of racism and, you know, what he said now, and then it became all about him not being nice to you.
No, I don't care.
It did, kind of.
No.
Little.
It seems like you're taking Twitter way too seriously, also. But I mean, whenever I have a problem with Twitter, I either ban user, ignore it, or anything like that. But it seems like you're very. Or do you in your personal life before Twitter and everything? Do you get in a lot of confrontations with people?
No. I don't. I used to. I don't a lot in my personal life. I used to. I used to be bad about confrontation. I used to. But the only reason I'm bringing in any personal stuff is because you were asking me when I said he doesn't give a fuck about me.
Yeah, you gotta talk to the guy, man. You gotta talk to him. Sometimes, sometimes people are busy, man.
And when he said fuck face or whatever he said, like, hey, fuck face, are you going to do my show or whatever he said, do you think maybe he was just like, hey, fuck face, when are you going to do my show?
Yeah, that sounds like a text I might get from Brian.
Yeah, because it seems like you in your head were reading it like, hey, fuck face.
Yeah, you were all worked up. I mean, let's build it up. You were all worked up. Your aunt died. You're at the funeral. Your phone's busy, buzzing. People are calling you a cunt.
It's possible. It still doesn't change the fact that I wouldn't do the show. I mean, because...
You wouldn't do it because of that?
No, because of the stuff he's
Yeah, but
said.
didn't you... I would do it, even though I don't agree with what he said, because he's my friend, and if we disagreed, I'd like to disagree with him on air. Like, people that I'm friends with have opinions I don't agree with. And sometimes I've had opinions that are off base, and someone has sort of explained things to me in a way that's made me think about things in a different way. I don't know if Anthony's capable of being reached like that, but, sometimes you can communicate with someone and say something that opens their eyes.
I always... In the beginning of this whole situation, I absolutely thought that he was. And I have lost the hope of that. And I feel like at this point, for me to act like it's like I'm like... See, I feel like if I say this, it sounds like I'm judging you, and I don't mean to be judging you right now. But I feel like if I were to go on his show, it would unless it was under the guise of, Joe, come on and we'll debate race. And it's like, okay, then I could go on and... Hey, doesn't matter what this guy thinks, I am allowed to do this. But if I went on the show, and let's say we didn't get around to debating race, now I'm sitting and we're just laughing and yucking. To me, that looks like I'm giving a stamp of approval. And I can't. It's like, it's...
Okay, I could understand your opinion. I mean, my friendship with him is pretty deep. I've really enjoyed doing that show, and I have a lot of respect for him, and I probably don't agree with him on a lot of issues when it comes to race, especially because I have these opinions about things being much, much more complicated than simply black people do this, white people do that. I don't think it's that. I think it's a poverty, it's an economic, it's a cultural issue. It's an issue with people get stuck. They're stuck in bad neighborhoods. They're stuck in economic situations, and I think we probably both agree with that.
Yeah.
And Anthony has some very good points about the reality of statistics in these communities. I think it's a much more complex issue, but
sure.
His issue is that people want to deny those realistic statistics.
Sure.
The reality of those statistics is undeniable, in my opinion. I just think that there's more to it than simply the statistics.
Sure.
And I think that society as a whole has done a really shitty job at taking care of the lowest social and economic rung of the ladder. I think people have ignored it because it's convenient, because they don't have to do anything about it.
Yeah. But
a lot of people accuse you of socialism if you say things like that. I had someone call me a socialist today because of that. I'm like, look, if you think taking care of poor babies is socialism, yeah, I'm a socialist.
But yeah, well,
you know what I mean? I mean, it's just like they didn't fucking ask to be born in the ghetto, man. And if you can't feel that, you don't have any remorse or any compassion for people that are born in terrible situations. To me, that's a mark against you as a human being.
I agree with that. I totally agree with that, which is why...
So why wouldn't you just have a discussion with him about it? Like, to try to figure out...
How do you have a discussion with a guy that doesn't return your texts?
No, okay.
Or doesn't get back to you?
Okay, but if he did... But if he did, would you still? You know what I'm saying? Like, if he did, would you have that conversation? Because you just said that you thought it would give him a stamp of approval.
No. That's not what I said. What I said was, I said I would absolutely go on his show if the purpose was to discuss race. I wouldn't go on the show if that wasn't preset that we were going to do that, because if we didn't get around to discussing race, then we're just having a good time you know what I mean? And it's just not cool to me. Mm-hmm. But I just look. Now here's the thing. And again, I want to. Well, let me just say this to defend myself a little bit. I am not sore about the way he treated me. I'm not upset.
Say butthurt.
Yeah, I'm not butthurt.
Thank you.
I'm not my ass. My little assy poo doesn't hurt.
Assy poo.
I like
and I'm not trying to, and I'm in no way trying to air a personal grievance right now on your show about this in any fucking way.
Okay.
I only went into that stuff because when I started talking about, I don't think he really cares what I think. I had a friendship with the guy. When I reached out and tried to get to a deeper place with him about this and maybe have a discussion or whatever about this. Let's grab a beer. My let's grab a beer never received a response. I didn't get the...
Okay, let's stop right here because this really is very personal. This is what I mean? This is not about the issue itself. This is you and him and your relationship, and I don't know what the fuck it is. But I think what they should have done from the beginning is say, we're going to ride our contract out. When that bitch is over, we're going to go on the internet. Do the Opie and Anthony show when our contract is out. I mean, I don't even know if they can say that, but their contract is out in like October.
They might already be planning that.
I hope they are. Because I think that the reality of satellite radio is it's awesome because it's in your car. It's way better than terrestrial radio. You got Howard Stern. You got Opie and Anthony. You got all these radio stations that have... have great music on them. You can find channels. You can find, I love classic vinyl. It's great. I love listening to satellite radio, but you have to listen to what they want you to listen to. I don't listen to it. I have it in my car. Most of the time, I listen to podcasts.
Right.
Most of the time, I'm listening to Hardcore History or Radio Lab or, any of our friends' podcasts. That's what I do most of the time. I just think it's an archaic way to get programming. It's this idea that you have to listen to what's on when it's on. I mean, that's great if you happen to be flipping through the channels or you turn on your car and Opie and Anthony comes on, or the Anthony and Jimmy show, whatever they call it now, or Opie and Jimmy. When it comes on and it's an interesting interview, it's great.
Right.
But sometimes you just want to listen to what you want to listen to. And it would be great if I could say, oh, look, Joe DeRosa's on Joey Diaz's podcast. Let me just press play on that.
Sure.
And I have like a whole, or I could go listen to Arnold Schwarzenegger on The Nerdist or this and that, or, whatever.
Sure.
That I think is the future. And I think that's the present also. And I think that once that's readily available in all cars at all times, the idea of them working for satellite radio would be kind of silly. Like, why would you choose to have a boss? What is the difference between the distribution method of satellite radio and the internet? I'll tell you what the difference is. There is a difference. Satellite radio is more restrictive.
Well, yeah,
more restrictive.
Absolutely.
It's more advertising. You don't get as much of a piece of it, and you got this massive overhead because you're attached to this gigantic company that's totally unnecessary.
And you can get fired, apparently.
You can get fired for talking, and you have to rent this giant fucking building. I mean, there's a fucking floor. You have to show ID. You go up to the whatever floor it is. It's way the fuck up there. There's all this money that's being spent. Where look at this fucking place. This reaches the same amount of people or more, really. This show reaches more than most satellite radio shows, and we do it from a fucking office park. It's a joke.
I know.
The future is the distribution method is changing, and the distribution method, I think it's being tested by these sort of situations where you find out that you could be fired for something totally unrelated to the show.
Right.
It's not like they went on the show and he said something that the company can't, like, he went on the show and said something totally racist, and the company's like, you can't say that on our show, you're fired. No, he said it on his own Twitter. At the very least, they should have had some form of a debate with the guy. But I think there's more to it than that, and I think when you talk about this white nationalist radio station that he went on, I think there's a little bit of that there too. Like there might have been more to behind the scenes.
Well, and this is, and I'm no way retreading or trying to beat a dead horse here, but this is why I'm saying I'm not trying to be personal. Well, I agree with everything you're saying, but I'm saying how I feel like I almost felt like he wasn't that open to having the discussion.
Maybe he wasn't.
So it's like, how can you, on the one hand, everybody, and this is what's driving me nuts about like this sort of blind, like I know what's going to happen. I'm going to leave here. I'm going to get a flood of tweets tonight.
You know why? You know why you're going to?
Because I'm saying
you
this.
Care.
Well, no, I don't.
You're freaking out, and because they know they can make your phone buzz.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm going to shut that part off.
You should have shut off already. How much has it gone off while the show's on? A lot. Crazy.
I got a confession to make. I lied. I don't have my Twitter alerts on my phone. I went outside during the funeral to get some air, and I checked my Twitter, and then I saw all the stuff. So,
how dare you?
But I was trying to just get through the goddamn
When was the last
story.
time it used to be on your phone?
Oh, it was just years.
That's a big lie.
Yeah, it was a big lie.
I'm glad you owned up to that.
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
for you.
But that's, and it doesn't, I mean, I guess, yeah, to a certain extent, it does bother me that I'll get some of these tweets and whatever. But that, to me, is what bothers me about the whole discussion, is because I feel like everybody's going, it should have been more open-minded. It should have been more open-minded. It's like, okay, well, I can speak from the place of somebody that was trying to approach it more open-minded, and I felt like there wasn't an option to do that. I felt like that wasn't there. So,
well, it's just because of your relationship with Anthony.
Well, I mean, no, I also mean like just in the public discussion forums, like the second not you, but anybody,
well, I know
generally, you know what I'm saying. The second you didn't hashtag stand with Ant or come out and say something, you were a traitor and a piece of shit. Mm-hmm. And it's like, well, that's not open-minded discussion either.
But you're talking about the pests. Why are you looking for open-minded discussion? Those people are savages.
Yeah, they are. They are. I don't know. I guess I always think that because like the shitheels are more prone to write stuff or voice the negative opinion than the positive people are to voice the positive. It seems like the majority voice is that sort of negative voice sometimes.
Well, they're more likely to fester, and they're more likely to get crazy about it and obsess about it. Like, I retweeted this one dude the other day about something, and I saw him going back and forth with people for 13 hours.
Yeah, that's nuts.
I retweeted him, and he just was battling people all day. It became his life. I mean, it was every minute for 13 hours, this guy was going back with people. There's folks like that out there, and you have to realize you can get caught into their web of psychosis.
I was going to say something off topic.
No, go ahead.
You want to talk about anxiety?
Sure.
Do you know, we're getting into this. This is beautiful, man. I mean, I think it is. Okay. I like how raw this discussion is. Do you know the full body surge of anxiety I felt when you were like, let's stop there. This is getting way too personal.
Really?
Dude, oh my God. It felt like I stuck my finger in a light socket.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No. Don't be sorry.
I just felt like we were beating on the same path over and over again, and it was getting to be like, he fucking didn't call me.
No, I didn't mean it like that. I was saying when you were saying, why didn't you have a discussion? I was saying I tried to, and that was my attempt to, and I didn't get a response, so I don't know what else to do.
Right.
But then I knew you took it the other way because of what you said, and then I went right back to the beginning. Don't fuck this up. First time on Rogan's podcast. Rogan doesn't like you. You went down this road. Dude,
I like you a lot.
Felt like I put my finger in an electric socket.
No, well, get it out of there. Go get a Band-Aid.
I'm just being 100% honest.
No, I know what you're saying. It's a complex subject. It's tricky.
Also, too, I want to, I'll talk about myself as openly as I'll talk about anybody else. Like, I'll beat on myself as much as I would ever go after anybody.
You will. Yeah, it's, look, man, people fuck up and they say things that are wrong. They say things that they don't mean. The real question is, did he say things that he doesn't mean? Did he say things, was he upset? Or is that what he really feels? And if that's the case, then it becomes a real issue. Because if that's the case, if he denies that there's some complexities to it, but my interactions with him, my communication with him has not been that. My communications with him has been there is a real problem in those communities, but it's not his fault. And what he deals with is the PC denial of these real problems in that community. I
agree with that. Mm-hmm. I agree with that. And that was always how it seemed to be, at least at the times when I was in the studio and stuff and would hear it. And when we hung out, I mean, dude, this is a dude, I can't stress this enough. I'm bummed about the whole thing, first and foremost, because this is a dude I used to have a great fucking time with. Mm-hmm. We would drink. Dude, I had so much fun with him, and it never got heavy. Ever. So, like, when the discussions of this stuff would come up on the show when you're in the room, it sounded a little more to me like what you're saying, like he's addressing that there was this problem. But then there was also the times where he would get real mad on the air, and even in those times you'd be like, okay, he just got a little hot today, and that's not that big of a deal. But then when all these things happened after the show, or after he was fired from the show, that's when it started to feel kind of like weird to me, where I was like, okay, well, was all that anger coming from a different place, or...
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I don't know
The
either.
radio show thing fucked me up. The white nationalist thing fucked me up.
Yeah, well, that'll do it.
I mean, I don't know what, I don't know how to take that.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean, I know how to
lighting
take
someone's house on fire. I mean, that's like you break up with someone, you fucking burn all their records.
It's so crazy to me that I almost feel like I'm like, maybe somebody's going to write later tonight and be like, that's not true. That was a made up thing. I don't
Maybe
fucking
he was
know.
drinking. Maybe he was. Who knows? Who knows? I don't know. I would have to communicate with him. I would have to pay attention to what he actually said on that show. I didn't see it. I didn't listen to it. But the fact that he went on a white nationalist show is not good. Like, isn't it funny? This is a funny thing, man, because. I've been going back and forth with people because of something I said the other day on a podcast about John Jones, where I said that I think that a lot of the hate that John Jones gets, it's possible that some of it might be because of racism. I said, I wonder if some of it might be because of racism. That was
Sure.
my exact words. And people were, said, like, there's headlines of things that said white guilt. Rogan thinks that, it's all because of racism. And it's such a hot button topic.
Right.
If you bring it up in any form at all, you bring up racism in any form at all,
Right.
people just immediately, it's a weird topic.
It's a tough subject, which is why I think if you're going to address problems in a community, you have to also address potential solutions. I don't think that happens often in the race discussion. I think the race discussion is almost always two sides attacking one side on a hard blind attack and another side on a hard blind defense.
But there's like double standards, and here's one of them. The heavyweight champion of the world is a dude named Cain Velasquez. Awesome fighter, great guy.
Boxing
No,
heavyweight?
UFC.
Or
UFC heavyweight
okay.
champion. And he has brown pride tattooed across his chest because he's Mexican. Brown pride.
Right.
Could you imagine if there was a white guy who was if Brock Lesnar won the heavyweight title and then got white pride tattooed across his chest?
Yeah, but here's the difference. Here's the difference with that argument. Brown pride never meant the same thing as white pride. White pride has always been synonymous with white power. Always. Those two terms have never not been linked to one another. So you put white pride out there, it sounds like white power. People start going down that road, and they're like, what the fuck is this guy all about? Brown pride, when it's like, hey, man, I'm from a oppressed people, excuse me, and hey, man, I'm proud of who I am. Nobody would have a problem with a white guy where it said Italian pride or Irish pride.
That's true.
Nobody would have a problem with that.
That's very true. That's very true. It's overall white would be an issue, but that's true. If someone had Irish pride written on their chest, like if Conor McGregor had Irish pride on his back, he's a famous Irish fighter. Nobody would give a fuck.
No, nobody
That's
would.
true.
Nobody would care at
He's
all.
a proud Irishman. There's nothing wrong with that. He says he's a proud Irishman.
Yeah, I mean, it's
English pride would be fine. Yeah.
anyone. Polish,
German.
maybe not German.
German would be a real issue. It'd be like, what are you proud about? Exactly. Our engineering, our cars.
That's right.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's
Military accomplishments aside.
yeah. No, it's. I mean, this whole. Dude, it goes back to the thing you said about certain communities having to deal with certain setbacks, right? I'm not putting words in your mouth here. That's
Right.
essentially what you said. Certain communities have had certain setbacks. Mm-hmm. The white community as a whole has not faced too many setbacks. It's just a fact.
Yep.
Most of global tyranny, violence, genocide, whatever, has a big chunk of it has been perpetuated by white people. And white people have pretty much prevailed in the majority in most of the societies that they have ever existed in. Not saying there aren't poor white people. I don't agree with that whole white people problems bullshit. I'm not saying that white people can't have a hard time. And I'm not saying that there aren't people that aren't white that are as well off or way better off than a lot of white people.
Right.
But if you want to speak in generalities of race, white has had the least amount of headaches. So it's tough when the people that have had the least amount of setbacks and the least amount of headaches stand to the side and go, stop your complaining. Stop your complaining. Because then it starts to be like, well, fuck you, man. Fuck you. That's like somebody going, Joe, man, oh, did you take jujitsu when you were a kid? Because your upbringing was so bad? Oh, stop fucking... You know what I mean? Then you want to be like, hey, fuck you. You don't know anything about my fucking upbringing.
I probably wouldn't handle it that way, but go ahead.
But I'm saying it would feel disrespectful if I spoke
I know
to
what
you
you're
that
saying.
way.
Well, I don't think the comparison is like a martial arts comparison because, I think the race issue is a bigger issue.
Of course, it's bigger.
It's darker. It's more fucked up, and racism to me is one of the most unfortunate aspects of humanity. This idea of just seeing someone, basing it on all the data that you've accumulated in the X amount of years you've been alive, all the bad experiences you've had with white people or black people, whatever it is that you have a racism towards, and then automatically assuming that this person who you have no interaction with whatsoever is negative based on that. It's just so limiting, and it's so unfortunate. It's one of the most unfortunate aspects of being a person, so I can never support it. But I think it's a complex subject for debate. It's a very complex subject. There's a lot going on there. And anybody that pretends it isn't, whether it's Anthony or whether it's on the progressive side, whichever side has a non-nuanced opinion on it, I think it does a disservice to a complex topic. I
have a real problem when the topic is addressed with the approach of stop your belly aching.
Yeah, that's just people fucking with you.
It's this simple. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? It's this simple, guys. Slavery, get over it. I mean, I've heard people say that. I've heard people say slavery, get over it. I've heard Jewish people say, oh, I'm sick of hearing this. We were in the Holocaust. And it's like, you guys were, and that's fucking terrible. But at the same time, guys, Jesus, I'm not saying all Jewish people say that, but like, I've heard Jewish people say that about black people. I've heard black people say we don't give a fuck about the Holocaust. It's not just white people, is my point, or right. or the classic stereotypical white people doing this. It comes from all sides. Mm-hmm. Italian people and Irish people will say it. Oh, big deal. We were in the ghettos when we first came here. It's like, yeah, but it's just everybody's got their different run through this, and there's a snowball effect that happens, and it's complicated.
Yeah, no, it's definitely complicated. Yeah.
So,
I mean, it would be nice if we could just judge people on who sucks and then figure out why they suck. But you know what, man? I wonder if it's even fucking possible to ever work it out. I kind of feel like to the day humans stop, until the day we become something else, I just don't see how there's ever going to be a universal group of people that gets it right, like where any culture ever like completely gets it right, where there's no fuckheads, there's no jealousy, there's no bullshit, there's no insecurity or nonsense. I
think other countries on the planet have a shot at it.
Really?
I don't think this one has.
Who's
a
got
chance.
a shot at it? Iceland or something like that?
Yeah.
Somewhere there's only like 100 people?
Yeah. I think Canada might have a shot,
They do better than us, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I think other countries might have a shot at complete harmony amongst people of any color, whatever. It will never happen here. This country is built on a disgusting foundation. There are too many skeletons in the closet. There's too much dirt, too much pain. It's just built on too much pain and turmoil and deceit and whatever. And it's like when you start something like that, when you start the practice like that, steal the land, steal the people so we can prosper, how could it ever bounce back? Because that just will continue and continue and continue and snowball and snowball and snowball till you have these seemingly unfixable problems. Seemingly unfixable. And I don't say that to take hope away from anybody that's in a dire situation. I think all these things are able to be risen above on an individual level.
On individual levels.
But I mean, for God's sakes, it's like we have... You look at the situations in the inner cities because of all these different factors that we're talking about and how it began and how it got to where it is now and everything. It's like, how could you ever in a million years rectify that.
All right, let me tell you this. What if you're the president?
Yep.
President DeRosa. All of a sudden they say, we've decided to, start electing stand-up comedians. They have good philosophical points. Like, what would you do? What would you do to try to fix shit? Do you have any answers, or you just look at it and go, it's all fucked up? Do you ever, go past it's all fucked up? Do you ever, see, if I was going to do something about it, what would I do?
I have a very hard time seeing past. This would be my one suggestion. It would be strive for individual success. Strive for individual success, because when you try, everybody, I think, by default, I don't know what it is. I guess it's just survival tactics or whatever. We all sort of have that run with the pack mentality. It's like when you're growing up, no matter what kind of neighborhood you live in, whether it's a suburb or the projects or in a fucking country dirt road, on a country dirt road, there's always the one kid that's maybe going places, and that one kid always gets the same advice. You want to go anywhere? Better stop hanging around with these fucking knuckleheads that you're running around with, because these guys are going to hold you back. Why? Because for some reason in anybody's community, everybody, the mentality, the notion is stick together. If you leave, that means you think you're better. That means you think you're different. We don't want, dude. It happened to me, and I'm from the fucking suburbs, so it's not just a thing you hear about in rap songs when guys are talking about people in the projects trying to hold them back. It's a thing that happens all over. So if I was the president, I would say to people, strive for independent success. Stop worrying about what's happening to the people, or I'm not saying in a callous way, fuck the people around you. Be concerned about your community, but strive for independent success, because you're not going to be able to fix the problem from within. You have to get out and fix it from the outside. And if enough people can get out and start to assist from the outside, then there's a chance. There's a chance at fixing this. There's a chance.
He's trying to break up the neighborhood. That's what I heard.
See?
Just fucking DeRosa's trying to break up the neighborhood.
I was laughing with Ron from Ron and Fez about it, like Philly. And he's like, we were just laughing about when trying to get out of Philly, and the suburbs around Philly and stuff, and guys just being like, where you going? We got these sandwiches, you know what I mean? And it's we were laughing because it's just
yeah,
I would have people be so fucking passive aggressive with me, and it took years. And then, when I started to find a little bit of success in the business, people that I was friends with would say things to me like, fuck you, dude. Oh, really? Mr. fucking Comedian's back in town. And it's this is just shit people do wherever you live.
They don't always do that, though. There's a lot of people that don't do that, but
I know.
There's a little bit of that crabs in a bucket shit going on the East Coast.
Yes.
East Coast more so, I think, and we've talked about this before, but I believe it's because they're the children of immigrants, that almost everyone on the East Coast is the grandfathers or their great-grandfathers came over from Europe or some other country, landed on the East Coast and stayed there. Whereas by the time people got to the West Coast, they're a bit more progressive, people more wanderlust, more people looking for different options.
See, I don't totally agree.
Why
I
not?
think it happens here in a very different way.
How's it happen here?
I think here there's a massive, I'd say almost bleeding heart, liberal mentality, and at least from what I've experienced here, as being somebody who needs to sort of assimilate into this system that's here. You know what I mean? I'm not to a point in my life where I can kind of just go off and do my own thing and be okay. I still need to meet the right people and kind of work my way into the system and all that stuff and familiarize myself with them. And I find that there is a very, 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 like I said, almost bleeding heart mentality here, and it feels like the same thing to me, except in the other direction, where it's don't go against the pack. Don't say that.
Okay.
Don't you dare say that, because
let me just clarify. You're talking about show business.
Well, in my LA experience, but I think the city itself, I think at least Southern California, I think there's a certain common mentality that exists here. Like, hey, you can't act that way. That's too edgy, meaning on edge, not meaning you're saying edgy things.
Well, but the majority of the people that you're communicating with are show business people, though, right?
Probably, yeah.
The problem with the show business that you're communicating with, you're talking about like people on television and things along those lines, is that there's a lot of people trying to get people to hire them for things, trying to get people to cast them in shows, trying to get people to give them deals, trying to get people to like them.
Right.
And the way to get people to like them is to subscribe to whatever popular opinions these people subscribe to. And in show business, it's almost universally liberal. And that's one of the things that people like Charlton Heston or John Voight or Clint Eastwood have always complained about. That these are the rare Hollywood conservatives because everyone in Hollywood is liberal. And I think that there's some valid discussion to that, but I think it's also the nature of the beast itself, where you want people to like you. You want people to accept you. And there's a lot of fake fucks out here because of that. Because the business itself, it sort of rewards fakery. It rewards conformity. And the conformity, a lot of it is this sort of left-wing liberal thinking.
So, and what I'm saying is, and I agree with you.
That's how they get work.
And I agree with you. What I'm saying is, though, I think that mentality exists everywhere.
It can, sure.
That I want people to like me. It's survival. It's survival. It's
yeah.
You know, I think it was there's a Carlin line where he says, "Species first interest is always survival." So like, you know, I just think that's a thing. It's why whenever any one of us is at a party and we're outnumbered in opinion, whether it's a political discussion or a fucking discussion about people think Katy Perry's the best, whatever.
That's when you just have to just walk away.
Well, no, sure, but
the best what? She's got great tits. We're done. We're basically done now.
But you won't walk away, sure. But I'm saying, like, most of us feel that you tense up and you go, I don't want to say I don't really like Katy Perry's tits because now everybody in the room is going to be like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I might be putting too fine a point on it. Sorry.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, though. I know what you're saying. There's definitely a strong urge to conform. It's part of being a human being. And yeah, you're right. It's part of, like, the only way you can ensure your survival is that you're a part of a group. I mean, that's ingrained in our DNA because at one point in time, that's how we survived when marauding tribes would come into our villages. You had to stay united as a united front. And I think it's a stronger urge in these places where, you know, like in Philly and places along those lines where, you know, these communities stay intact, whereas in LA, there's more wandering. LA, everyone's transient. They came here from another place. They move around. I don't think it's the same thing. But there's definitely, like, Brian posted that thing up. I don't know if you saw it, but they did a Twitter map of hate speech, East Coast to West Coast.
And racial and homophobic.
Yeah, look at it.
And
look at it. It's overwhelmingly East Coast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Overwhelmingly. And I personally, this is just my own theory, it's probably like Michael Jackson doesn't have any balls theory. It probably sucks. But I think that a lot of that has to do with the spread of immigration and that my own experience with immigrants. My grandparents were immigrants on both sides. And I grew up in, you know, New Jersey and then in Boston, and I grew up around a lot of immigrants, people that, you know, were children of immigrants or grandchildren of immigrants. And I think that that's a lot of what happens. I think there's just there's a trap, you know, and it's not as bad as a trap that's in the impoverished black communities, but it's still a very similar trap.
Sure.
As far as a behavioral trap.
Sure.
People are fucking strange, man, because it took a lot of work to get to 2014 with all the rhinos and lions and fucking poisonous bugs and all the shit that's out there that could fuck you up.
Sure.
It took a long time and a lot of work for us to get to where we are today with lava lamps and laptops and shit. You know, we had to get our way through a lot of things and we had to stay protected while we innovate, you know? Here's a crazy thing. I just totally off subject, but I think we've beaten this to death anyway. They found a huge underground reservoir recently that holds 3 times as much water as the Earth's oceans.
What?
Yeah.
How's that possible?
It's on fucking Nova. Okay, this is a PBS website that has this. It's unbelievable. This is an unbelievable discovery. It's a study that was published in Science magazine that Earth's water may have been there all along, oozing out gradually from the rock deep in the crust. that was pressed up by intense heat and pressure below the surface. Because a lot of our theories about how Earth became so covered in water was that was comets.
Right.
Was comets. That comets, when you see a comet streaking across the sky, what you're seeing is melting ice. You're seeing enormous, miles wide chunks of ice that are flying through space, and the tail of the comet is actually ice. Being evaporating as these things fly through the air. So this is this new study that they have found this water in these subterranean. I don't know how it. I don't understand it. It's called subterranean woodite, ringwoodite. Ringwoodite. I don't know what that means. A deep blue mineral chemically similar to peridot, Peridot, a green mineral often used in jewelry, and that it's been found in meteorites. And this ringwoodite came from the transition zone between the upper and lower mantle, about 400 miles below the Earth's surface. It's about 15% of the weight of this stuff turned out to be water. And if a lot of this water-heavy mineral existed underground, scientists reasoned that there might be enough water to explain where Earth's oceans came from. And so then they started doing these studies and tried to figure this out, and they found this insane amount of water below the Earth's surface.
Okay.
This is incredible.
What are they going to do with the water?
I don't know. The layer holds 3 times as much water as all the Earth's oceans combined. It's incredible. So it reduced this. Right now, people think that the Earth is 96% water. Or 96% of the water is in the ocean. Now they're saying it's only 24% of the water on Earth is in the ocean.
That's crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
I wonder if there's any life in that water.
I don't think so, because I think what they're saying they're saying this ringwoodite stuff. It's that water is compressed in these minerals. See, this is the exact way they word it. Obviously, I'm an idiot, but bear with me. Northwestern University professor who led the study found water in subterranean ringwoodite, a deep blue mineral chemically similar to peridot, a green mineral often used in jewelry, until a sample turned up in 2008 in a diamond coughed up from a volcano. Ringwoodite had only been found in meteorites. The ringwoodite came from the transition zone, blah, 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 blah. If a lot of this water-heavy mineral existed underground, so this water-heavy mineral is what contains all this water. So I don't know if they can get it out of the water. See, it sounds like, you would hear that and you would say, oh, there's like rivers under the ocean. Mm-hmm. I don't think they're saying that. I think what they're saying is this water-heavy mineral is so dense in the under the Earth's mantle that the amount of water in it is much more than the amount that's in the oceans.
Really?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Well, they're learning shit about the Earth, just the Earth, the thing we live on. They're learning things every day. All the data's not in yet.
I find it incredibly overwhelming. Like, we just had that really long discussion about race and how complicated and how deep that all is. And that's just a discussion pertaining to people in just this country. Yeah. Not even the people of the entire world. Yeah. And now we're into a discussion about how we're learning about the actual Earth. And now there's 3 times more water here than we thought there was, whatever it is. And it's so fucking over. Like, that discussion into that news piece, I literally have the same feeling I had when I was at the Grand Canyon, and I was like, I don't even exist. This is like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I've never felt more like a speck of dust right now. I'm completely overwhelmed. I really mean that.
Well, then they keep finding these Goldilocks planets, these planets in the Goldilocks zone they're capable of supporting the same type of life that exists on Earth. I mean, scientists say that life can exist in a bunch of different ways that they never thought before. Like, they're finding life in these volcanic vents deep, deep, deep in the ocean where they never thought that any being could survive the extreme temperatures. They're essentially like living off lava and the ocean floor. These vents are giving birth to these weird kind of life forms.
What are the life forms like down there?
Some fucking creepy things, some creepy plant life and weird animal life, but they found a new type of mushroom that was recent. It's a recent study. New mushroom that defies classification. It's a new type of life, and they just found it.
But with the animal, the lava animal thing, when you say animal life, do you mean literally animal life, or do you mean like
microscopic
stuff?
Things that are alive? Like this deep sea mushroom that they found. This is a new one that they found. This is off of the BBC Science and Environment page. There's a mushroom-shaped sea animal discovered off an Australian coast that has defied classification in the Tree of Life. So this is a new type of life form that they found. This is fucking crazy shit, man. You know? Finding something like this is extremely rare. It's maybe only happened 4 times in the last 100 years, they're saying. They don't know what it is. They're like, what the fuck is this stuff? It's like it's not quite a plant.
That's fucking wild. Jesus Christ. That's literally Star Trek shit. Like when there would be plants with like mouths and eyes. That might be the beginning of something like that.
Well, you know, if you think about plants like Venus flytraps and shit like that, where they have carnivorous plants.
Right.
Like, at what point is a plant an animal? I mean, when plants start fucking closing in on flies and eating them, yeah, I get it, it's a plant, but that's a predator. Things lays traps and it actually has action. It moves.
I always wanted one of those.
Those are dope.
Do you have one?
No, but I should get them now that I bring it up. I had one that died. I remember what happened.
And what do you do? What do you have to buy like flies to feed it?
Yeah, you have to have a shitty house. Otherwise you'd be rude. It's like you wouldn't have a cat and not have cat food. You know, if you have a Venus flytrap, you can't just fucking water it. You got to throw some flies in there. I wonder what you do. Do you buy dead flies?
Yeah, you probably buy dead flies to feed it, or some kind of like larva to feed it.
You'd have to hope that somebody left a window open otherwise.
But how cool would that be? I'm such a jackass. I keep looking at the fucking screen, and then
yeah, that's why I tell people. That's why I've been asking you to shut these off lately.
There's
a plant that's all right. There's a plant that eats rats.
Get the fuck out of here!
I'm not kidding. No, there's a plant. I believe it's in the Amazon. It captures rats.
It captures rats?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it eats mice. Yeah, Google it, Brian.
Oh.
Rat-eating plant. There's a video on wimp.com. Don't play the video, because otherwise we'll get another fucking strike against us on YouTube.
What do you mean?
So it's so bizarre. Every time we play videos or things, it's like there's all these weird... Is it supposed to be fair use? Like when you're discussing something online, it fits the boundaries of fair use, the definition of fair use, but people can still dispute it. Whether or not it's fair use. Yeah. And then they put a hold on your YouTube video, and if it goes against you, you get a certain amount of them, they can pull your videos down. It's just fucking stupid. But
that is stupid.
There is a plant. It's a carnivorous plant. It eats frogs. It eats mice. It eats all kinds of different shit.
Really?
Yeah. If you just Google it. It's called... Here's a fucking name and a half, right? It's...
Ew, is that it?
It's called Nepenthes Attenboroughi. Is it possible that you could put it up on the screen and not put it on the screen where the people at home see it? Can you do that?
Meaning we watch it, but they can't see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, hold on a second.
Yeah, this just... if you want to Google it, folks, just Google plant that eats rats. That's what I did. It's fucking incredible.
I swear to God, I thought you were yelling at him for a second, and I got super uncomfortable.
What do you mean?
For a
Just
second,
now?
when you went, is it possible for you? And I thought you were going to be like, is it possible for you not to fucking keep switching the screen? I thought that's what you were going to do, and I was like, oh, Jesus, I don't want to see this happen.
You're full with anxiety today, dude.
I am. You know.
Do you get a lot of massages?
No, I get no massages.
You should get massages every day. You should smoke weed every day.
Smoke weed every day.
Yeah.
I don't. No, dude. If I
look at this rat-eating plant, man. No, the folks at home can't see this.
No.
What are they seeing? Just us?
Your logo.
Oh, okay, good. So this is the fucking plant. I guess it's growing here. Is that what's going on here? Yeah, this is it growing up. So it gets to a certain size, and when it gets to a certain size, it's completely carnivorous. It eats frogs, mice. It captures them. It opens up like this thing, and I believe it has like a sweet fermented smell to it. And these things go in it because they think this is like some food in there. And
Ew.
Then it jacks them.
Is that a snake or is that
no? That's its like tentacles or whatever the fuck it is.
Jesus Christ! This is literally like Little Shop of Horrors shit.
Yeah, it is. It's like Invasion of the Body Snatchers type shit.
That thing is fucking nasty looking.
It's enormous too. That's the weird thing about it. It's an enormous thing. It's,
That literally looks like a Star Trek plant.
yeah, you would think that it would be like from Avatar or something like that, right? But it is a real thing.
Thank you for having a more recent reference than Star Trek. That was the best sci-fi. I'm terrible sometimes with references. I want to. Now, is it going to show a rat go into it?
Yeah, it will eventually show something go into it. I forget. I've seen this video, but there's a bunch of videos of them online. These are they're fairly recent discoveries too. I don't think they discovered it until the 2000s. Yeah, here it is. May 2010, the International Institute for Species Exploration at Arizona State University selected this plant as one of the top 10 new species described in 2009. So in 2009, they started finding that this thing's a real plant.
I don't understand how we didn't know about a plant till 2009.
Oh, there's a lot of plants we still don't know about in the Amazon.
That's incredible to me.
Well, the Amazon is so fucking big. You know, there's a weird distortion thing when you look at any sort of a map. You know, like, have you ever seen like a realistic interpretation of the size of continents?
No.
Yeah. See if you can find that, Brian. Realistic.
I'm learning a lot today.
Yeah, realistic size of continents.
Do you just read this shit like constantly?
Yeah, I got problems, man.
No, I don't. I'm not criticizing.
No, but I do. I have problems.
It's not a problem. I'm envious of your knowledge of all this stuff. I really wish that I had.
I don't know anything about sports.
I know nothing about sports. I asked you before if that guy was the boxing champion that you mentioned.
Oh, Cain Velasquez.
Yeah, I didn't even know that. I wish I knew. I find this stuff so interesting, and yet I never remember to read any of it. And then I start to try to look it up, and I can't remember.
Yeah, look how fucking big Africa is.
You can fit a whole United States in there, and a China, and an India, and a Italy. Like that,
Fit everything in Africa.
But how the maps were drawn for reasons, it just appears smaller.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's crazy. And that's the rainforest in the Congo and the African rainforest, but there's also the South American rainforests. They're massive. The rainforests in Brazil and Peru and down there. I mean, there's so many plants. And that's one of the reasons why these pharmaceutical companies keep going down there to try to explore and find out new plants that can provide, new drugs and for good reasons for cancer medications and cure diseases and things along those lines. And also, there's some of them that they're using for, like, they're trying to do research on this ant. There's an ant called the bullet ant, one of the most painful stings in the world, but it doesn't just sting you. Not the bullet ant.
Caps your ass.
It really fucks you up. That one fucks you up. They're using that. They're trying to use that for something else. I got it confused. It's actually the Brazilian wandering spider I was going to bring up. The Brazilian wandering spider. So it's so fucked up. It stings you. It's in the jungle of Brazil. It stings you and gives you an unbelievably painful erection to the point where if you survive, where a lot of people don't, if you survive, your dick is broken forever. It'll never work it again.
Really?
It redlines your dick. And it works in the same sort of way like Viagra works, where it gives you nitric oxide. It produces some massive amount of nitric oxide in your body. So all of your muscles become incredibly painful, like just massive agony. Like, think of like your whole body just redlined all the time. And your dick's hard as fuck. And it breaks your dick. So
but you don't orgasm during this
ever
process.
Again. I mean, maybe if you stuck your finger up your ass while it was going down, you might be able to pull something off.
Let's not make it gross.
Wouldn't be happy. Wouldn't be a happy coming. But it'd be the last one.
Yeah, that's fucked up. What's that thing called?
It's called the Brazilian wandering spider. And so these pharmaceutical companies are trying to figure out how to make that the new, like, super Viagra. How to take, not that they need it, like, doesn't Viagra work? Can't they just move on?
Right.
And the reason is, it's like they want to have something that's new. It's like there's competing forces. Like, there's Viagra, then there's Cialis came along. We last longer. And then, there's other ones.
Yeah.
We don't give you as much of a headache. And then there's this one and that one. And they're always trying to find some new one, but they're trying to figure out a way to use this evil fucking murderous spider's venom and get your dick hard with it.
It's like that old Leary joke about cocaine or crack. He's like, this is the only country where cocaine wouldn't be fast enough. Where somebody needed something faster. But that's how it is with those penis drugs. It's like, how much fucking stronger and faster does this need to get? How much harder does your dick need to be? It's an unnatural
Yeah.
Erection. I don't mean just because it's caused unnaturally. I mean, the type of erection you get from it is fucking unnatural.
That's great.
You know?
Well, it's also if you found that, like if they found that, they've isolated components in plants that can give you that. What else is out there? Is there something out there that makes kids grow taller? Is there something out there that cures autism? Is there something out there that makes your hair grow back? Is there something out there that, there's so many hundreds of thousands of plants that are undiscovered. I mean, there's just areas where they just don't go. There's people don't get to. The density of the rainforest is just so incredible.
I'm absolutely amazed that this spider, the wandering spider, can do this to you. And scientists forget like that it's even stronger than Viagra, but like that scientists are like, let's fuck with that. Let's see what we can get out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right?
Like it's just no, leave that thing alone. It's the worst thing in the world. Leave it alone. Don't try to. Unless you're going to try to make some kind of bio weapon with it. You know what I mean? Like, leave it the fuck alone.
Yeah, it's one of the worst, apparently, one of the worst stings you can ever get. One of the most toxic venoms that they've ever discovered. A lot of people die from it, too.
That sounds horrible.
What a terrible world.
That's one of the things I don't like about the West Coast is, like, there's a much higher concentration of, like, poisonous spiders and shit out here. That was never a thing on the East Coast. But I saw, like, I had a black widow in my house one day, and I was just like, what the fuck? Twice now in my house, I've killed spiders that have, like, clear spots on their tail. Ooh. Or not tail, but you know what I mean, the butt part, whatever that's called.
What's that?
One of them was a fucking black widow. It had a big fucking dot on its back.
Big red thing underneath it?
Was red or white. I can't remember which the black widow is, but whatever it is, it was that.
Yeah, they fuck with you. I mean, they don't fuck with you. You have to, like, get near them and scare them for them to sting you, but they're goddamn everywhere out here.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Black widows are all over the place.
My back porch is literally, you can find 20 of them and just sitting down. They're everywhere. I have so much trees and spider webs, and what sucks is at night I'll go out and have a cigarette, and I've walked through so many spider webs that I'm surprised that
Did you ever get bit by one?
I have to have.
Well, isn't a black widow, like, very poisonous?
I think the brown widow is, I don't know. I know one of them's more poisonous than the other. My ex-girlfriend's dog actually died from getting bitten by one of the widows.
Jesus Christ. Are we allowed to go to the bathroom on this show?
Yeah, go pee, man. Go pee. We'll talk
About
about phones while you're gone.
Like, as you're talking about the hardest dick of all time, I have, like, a
He's
piss
gonna go
boner
jerk off.
almost
He's gonna
right now.
jack off in there.
Yeah,
I think he is. Look at him. He's excited. He's
Squirt.
gonna jack off to alleviate anxiety.
Did you check out the new iPhones and the new watch and all that stuff?
Yeah, they look pretty cool. Did you hear about the Macworld staff? Almost all of them got laid off today. They had to work like crazy covering the launch of the new phones,
right.
And then today, like, everybody got laid off. The biggest Apple News day of the year, and they laid off like almost the entire staff.
Well, it's so. I mean, that's ridiculous, but it's amazing that they even lasted this long.
Yeah,
you know,
right?
I mean,
because it's a magazine.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Magazines are so pointless
You
nowadays.
have to print it.
Yeah. By the time you buy Macworld right now, it's not talking about the new iPhones. It's not talking about all the news in the last month, even probably. It's
okay. It's going away. What they're saying is Macworld.com will still continue, but Macworld print is gone. That's it.
wow.
Economic reality of running a print publication. You know what they should do? Bring back silent movies. I heard they're making a comeback. Do you guys know how to make smoke signals? Sell smoke signals? Yeah, they're going away. Why is everybody sad? It sucks that those folks lost their jobs, but they should just what they should have done is just transition those writers into the Macworld.com thing. They should have worked on it if they were valuable employees. And, everybody's pissed off. A lot of people are pissed off because they made these people work really hard and go crazy to launch this new product and to cover the launch. And that, these people had this grueling day of marathon iPhone coverage, and then they fired them.
Well, they also were geeking the fuck out. They're like, dude, we're at the Apple event. This is so cool. Let's take pictures and call it a job.
Yeah, there's always going to be a little of that, right? There's going to be a little of that.
What I find interesting is the new payment plans that they're introducing with this new iPhone, where you're pretty much not going to have a credit card anymore. You're not going to have your bank cards anymore.
Yeah.
You're just waving your phones, and it's sending out a unique number to the cash register. It's almost like how Bitcoins are, where it's interesting.
But does it have to work where the people at the cash register have to have a device to pick it up? Is that what it is?
Yeah. But
didn't they have that already for Androids?
I don't know. But before the launch, they Apple is working with all the biggest like credit card companies, like Chase and Capital One and all that. So a lot of big stores already have it. I know, like, there is versions of it that's existed already. Like when I pay at Starbucks, I use my phone, but it scans it. This is inside the phone. I think it's called near frequency NFS or something like that, where it sends out a signal. It's actually like a little local radio based.
I wonder, like, if it has a limit. Could you buy a car like that? Could you go to a Ford dealership and pick up a Mustang?
You'll have your credit card, your Amex, American Express Black, or whatever you have.
Wow.
You would have it on your phone.
That would be dope as fuck to buy a car with your phone.
Yeah.
I don't even know why I want to buy a car with my phone, but I want to buy a car with my phone. That seems so ridiculous. So they're 4.7 inches and 5.5 inches is the new iPhones?
Yeah.
Congratulations. You finally caught up, you fucking idiots.
Here-
Should have done that a million years ago. Jesus Christ. They're fucking iPads.
They've advanced the sync technology, which is nice with that like pass it off feature.
Put that back up,
Yeah,
Brian?
yeah. I'm gonna try to find a better.
So the 4.7 inch. This is what, 4 inches? The 5S, 4 inches.
Yes.
And I have a Samsung Galaxy S5, which is only it's 5 inches.
Yeah.
That's 5.5, I believe.
That's fucking giant. That's as big as what I had. I used to have the Note, which was like 5.7, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Somewhere around then.
I think the Galaxy's 5.5 or 5.3. It's bigger than the new iPhone. I did a comparison.
The Galaxy's bigger? The Note or the
both.
the Galaxy S5?
Well, the Galaxy is bigger than the regular iPhone 6. The iPhone 6 Extra Large or whatever the fuck it's called, the Deluxe,
Right.
I think is either the same size as the Galaxy or a little bigger.
Put that up again so I could see it.
Yeah. I'm trying to.
Find better ones.
But I did a side-by-side with the regular new iPhone 6 and the Galaxy S5.
Well, the good thing about the big one is that it's supposed to have 2 hours more of battery life.
Yeah, the battery's way better for some reason on the new
Motherfuckers. They
one.
always get you with the big one.
Well, but, they've been saying this for every fucking iPhone that comes out. They go, the battery's better now. And it's not. It's never been better once.
It is better. The issue is that you have more need for juice because you have 4G, LTE, and 3G, and Wi-Fi and all that stuff. Things are more intensive, like programs, games. They just use more juice. So the batteries are better, but it depends on what you're using them for.
But they never break it down like that. They always go, like this new one, they go, this new battery, 11 hours of video watching time. It's like, yeah, no, that's what you said the last two phones. And it's never that.
Yeah.
And then when you complain, they go, well, see, because you're Bluetooth. Fuck you. Fuck you, Apple.
There's a lot of reasons. One of the biggest reasons is if you don't have good service in your house and it's always searching for signals and stuff like that.
Yes.
Wi-Fi and all that stuff is the thing that drains you out because you'll have your Wi-Fi on your phone and then you'll go to Chili's and so the whole time it's like trying to search for Wi-Fi. You don't even realize that it's just draining your battery. It's amazing what just simple like turning on airplane mode or does to your or
that's
turning
true.
off Wi-Fi, turning off Bluetooth, turning off
Yeah, some
Yeah,
people
no,
turn
you're right.
off 4G, right? And they
Yeah.
just use 3G.
Yeah.
That's dumb.
It's so
what a bunch
dumb.
of cunts.
It's terrible. If you try to go online with 3G now, you're so spoiled.
Yeah.
My friend Aubrey has a Tesla. It's fucking dope. It's the most ridiculous car. Those crazy electric cars. And is this the phone?
Yeah.
He has a crazy electric car, and we're not showing that where we get pulled, are we?
No, this is
Just for us?
yeah.
His Tesla, his car has a giant screen, man. This huge screen. It's like a laptop, bigger than a laptop. It's like an iMac that's in the middle of the console, and that's where everything is. It doesn't have any buttons. Everything is all touch screen on this thing, and you talk to it. Like he could say, "Play Joe DeRosa comedy," and it'll go to Spotify.
And it'll go, why?
Oh, Joe. I'm going to come over there and hug you. Like, we were in the car, and he said, come up with say anything. I go, Arctic Monkeys. So he goes, play Arctic Monkeys. It goes, finds it on Spotify, brings up a list of songs. He presses play, and it starts playing an Arctic Monkeys song. But it's 3G. And I was like, where's the 4G, bitch? You ain't got no 4G up in this motherfucker?
That's no G.
3G is it's kind of
3G's
slow.
3G's no G.
What is that?
It's talking about the new camera that's in the iPhone, but here's interesting here the new payment thing. Check this
With
out.
iPhone 6, we're introducing Apple Pay.
Hmm.
A fast,
Pay with
easy,
Touch
secure
ID.
mobile payment
I don't
system.
think this pay thing is a
It's
great
much better
idea.
I think it's awesome, and you can pay with your dick. Because if you use your thumb for thumb recognition, you can use your dick for dick recognition. It'll find the unique pattern on your skin of your cock, and then you could buy things with your cock.
Listen, it's.
Did you not hear me?
No, I heard you. I've been rubbing my dick on my phone for years. No, but
What do you think's bad about it?
I remember years ago, Burr goes, he goes, they're moving it all to the phone, dude. They're moving it all to the fucking phone. And then the second the government decides they want to shut you down, boom, you're done. Because it's
That's
all on
true.
the... And it's happening now. I used to be like, you're nuts. What are you talking about? And now it's finally happening. It's like your life is on that fucking phone. Your life.
But you choose to put your life on that phone. I mean, there's a lot of things on that phone, but, you know, if you want, you can do whatever you want, man. You don't have to jump along. You could be that guy that lives up in fucking Big Bear. You got a cabin somewhere, and you chop your own wood, and you got a water well that you get all your water. I mean, you could be that guy if you really wanted to. You just have to move towards that.
You got to jump along, dude.
Jump along?
You got to. You said you don't have to jump along.
You
You
have
got
to?
to jump along.
Do you want to watch? Look at the watch.
No, this thing fucking
Can't take
retarded.
it?
Now
I think it's stupid.
I think it's if it catches on like the iPhone did, everyone has it. It's going to make so much more sense because being able to just go like to your wrist, be like, give me directions, you know, and talk to your wrist, or there's also this interesting technology in it with that's if you have a phone on, Joe, or if you have a wrist on and you're in my contacts, I can send you private messages just to your like, hey, check out the chick going through the door right now, or send you like a quick drawing of something.
Only you would have to use it for creeping on people.
it won't be suspicious at all as you're staring at your watch and your lips are moving.
I like that.
Check out
it
the girl's
works
tits
with
over there.
like a winder thing. Like it doesn't have a touch screen. The winder thing is how they use it. That little thing is a handle.
Yeah, the knob on the side is. It's going to be interesting though because it seems like that's could cause also problems if you hit it and it's it sends a phone call or something. Yeah,
Starts looking for directions to the moon.
Directions on your wrist that are tiny. It just doesn't seem convenient to me.
Now that seems goofy, but I
just-
like the heart rate monitor thing.
Yeah, the heart rate.
It's got different bands.
It's
too?
got 3 different models. There's
Yeah.
actually a gold one, which is rumored to be maybe even over thousands of dollars.
Oh yeah,
and they have
Trick
they have a
bitches.
sport edition that which is like a rubber, like more.
Show me the diamond encrusted one
Yeah,
for
show
rappers.
this. Okay.
Is there a diamond encrusted one for rappers?
Yep.
No.
Not yet. I'm gonna get in that business tomorrow. Call my accountant. Put all the money in diamonds and watches.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Gotta
I
be
just
big,
think
big,
it's
Incredibly light.
it's just kind of pointless. Like,
I love how they use an English guy to sell it. You know why? Because you can't use a guy from New York.
Check out this gold edition.
Metallogists have developed to be up to twice as hard as standard gold.
They developed to be up to twice as hard as standard gold. You can't have
Over
that.
there.
Nobody would trust him.
yeah,
You
you
have to have
see,
some guy from another land. Well, maybe they're different in this other land called England. I want to hear one of them sell this product. It sounds much more respectable.
I see that knob breaking a lot. That's the next broken iPhone. Is
You think
this
so?
Broken knob.
Stop
here.
working?
Yeah.
Could be. I mean, the one thing about Apple is they're pretty good about testing shit pretty rigorously before they release it.
I guess the biggest problem is 7. But the biggest problem is that the battery they're not happy with because right now supposedly it's rumored the battery lasts about a day and they want it days.
Right, and when they say a day, does that mean a day with you using it?
Right.
Or a day with a regular, normal person who has a job using it?
yeah,
Yeah.
no. And they say a day on the iPhones too, and it's nowhere
Never.
fucking near it. I'm gonna make the best point that anybody
It's impossible.
has made about this
Okay,
right now on this show.
okay.
Here's why that's a dumb idea. The new iPhone has a significantly bigger screen for a fucking reason. This is a completely tiny, completely inconvenient screen. Who the fuck wants that? Everybody wants a device that's easier to use. And I don't see how this is. This is
tell
like
you
when
why.
they did the iPod Nano and they tried to put it all on the screen and it was too fucking small.
I tell you why. This is as easy as it is. You have your phone in your pocket. You're
Right.
talking to somebody. You have a little vibrate on your hand. You look down. Joe's calling me.
No, or is it vibrating in your pocket?
No.
Or does it vibrate in your hand too?
It has. You could turn it on both if you want, but it
What
has
if a girl's giving you a hand job and you feel your dick vibrate, and then she starts looking at her wrist and she wants to stop? That'll be annoying.
You could turn off.
Somebody else is texting her, cock blocking you.
I mean, this is what I'm talking about. Nobody thinks ahead.
I'm thinking ahead. We out of time. It's
yeah, we got 5 minutes.
Oh, okay. Joe DeRosa, this was fun.
What was this, about 6-7 hours?
3 hours. We did 3 hours.
Was it a full 3?
Yeah,
I had a great time.
It was fun, man.
I felt like it was all different types of things were happening today.
Yeah, I hope we alleviated any anxiety that might have come up.
Oh, that's me, dude. That's all me. That's not you.
I hope
No,
it
I'm
didn't escalate it.
Every social interaction for me is Vietnam. I'm taking this home with me. This is going to be an all-night thing. Don't worry about it.
Do a set tonight. Are you working when you're in town?
Yeah. Everybody's being very nice to me.
Okay, cool.
You know, the Death Squad guys have welcomed me with open arms, which
Excellent.
I'm very appreciative for. Thank you, guys.
Where can people find you this weekend? Are you in town?
You
working?
Tomorrow? I don't even know. I'm just doing spots around town this weekend, but if I'm going to plug something, I really would like to plug my new album, Mistakes Were Made, the B-sides, on iTunes and Amazon, $10.
When's that available?
It's available now.
Okay,
Double-length album of rarities from the last 7 years.
Oh, nice.
And then my podcast, which you can get on my website or on iTunes. It's called Down with Joe DeRosa. I'd love to have more people come and listen. I talk about 1 hour one topic for an hour, usually by myself.
Excellent. And all that stuff, I'll retweet that right now. I'm retweeting it right now.
Thanks,
and the site is Joe DeRosa Comedy.
JoeDeRosaComedy.com. You can find all this stuff there.
That's also his Twitter, Joe DeRosa Comedy. And thanks, brother. That was fun, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I had a blast. Thank you so much.
And thanks to our sponsors. Shit, I don't have it in front of me right now. Hold on.
Blue Apron, which is a service that they send you ingredients.
Yeah, you don't have to. We just have to say what the thing is, where they have to go. Okay, here it is. BlueApron.com/Rogan. Get your first 2 meals for free. Go to BlueApron.com/Rogan. Thanks also to Dollar Shave Club. Go to DollarShaveClub.com/Rogan. That's DollarShaveClub.com/Rogan. And last but not least, we're brought to you by Stamps.com. Go to Stamps.com, click on the microphone in the upper right-hand corner, and using the code word JRE for your $110 bonus offer, which includes a free digital scale and up to $55 of free postage. And last but not least, Onnit.com, ONNIT, a human optimization website. Use the code word Rogan, save 10% off any and all supplements. All right, I'll be back tomorrow with Tim Burnett from Solo Hunters. And that's it. Much love. Big kiss. See you soon. Ice House is sold out this weekend, so you snoozed.
Well, there's a Thunder Pussy you can go to.
Oh, Thunder Pussy's there as well. Friday night. See ya. Big kiss.